And we're going. We're live just like that.
Shit, man.
So first, thanks for coming up. I know we have a couple mutual friends. Obviously, Chris is here in the studio with us. And fuck, me and Chris go way back. We went to Costa Rica together. And so, anytime I have someone that my friends vouch for, like, hey, he has a story that you should probably tell on the podcast, I jump at that chance.
Yeah.
I know you're a law enforcement officer, and everyone in this room has been a law enforcement officer at some point in time in our lives. And it's a profession where it's easy to get very disgruntled. And I've had cops on here before that have just bitched about the profession for the full 2 hours. And it's kind of like, well, the beautiful thing about life is if you don't like where you're at, we can go do something different at any time.
Yep.
And, but I think it's important to tell these stories because I think our communities and our society should get to have an idea of what's going on behind the curtain.
Yep.
And be able to understand how these agencies work, what their motives are, how they treat people. I think it's important not only for our communities to understand, but I mean, also is like, I have almost 300 students here. A lot of young kids are interested in the professional law enforcement.
Yep.
And I tell them, if you're called to be part of this, that's still an honorable thing, but really know what you're getting into. And I think it comes down to men like us telling our stories.
Yeah, man, 100%.
And so how I like to do the show is just kind of give you the floor, give a little bit of background, who you are, where you're from. And then obviously there's some specific stories that we'll get into, but just kind of tell your story. So I'll just give you the floor, man.
Yeah. Thanks, man. My name's Tyler Christian. Just so your audience knows too, as I talk, I have a little bit of a tick. So you're going to hear some grunting and stuff. So if it's just me at home listening to this audible, I'm like, what the fuck's this grunting shit going on? That's me.
Is it Tourette's? Is that what that's called?
Yeah. So it's like a minor form of Tourette's. Like I've gone to doctors about it, and I've tried to, hey, can I help to mitigate this? And what do you think the doctor's response was?
Oh, probably some kind of medication, right?
Fucking take meds, right?
Yeah.
So then I start off, I'm like, well, whatever, I'll try it. And then it's like, well, we're going to keep amping this up till it gets to a point where they're like, now we're almost getting into like horse tranquilizer. And I'm like, dude, I'm carrying a machine gun for work, right? On SWAT and shit. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, it does bother me because I'm like, fuck, I feel like I can't breathe half the time, or I have this like little noise. This noise is going to come up a little bit later too. So in regards to the story. So
okay. Yeah.
I just want your listeners to know, like, hey, if however long this thing goes, just you're gonna have to suffer with it, man.
It's probably like anything, right? The first couple of times, like, oh, what was that?
Yeah,
and then it just becomes normal, right?
Yep.
So thanks for putting that out.
Yep. So anyway, there's that. Yeah, man. I agree with you 100% in regards to I want public to kind of. I'm not here to motherfuck the department. I'm not, man. I'm glad. So I retired about a year and a half ago. The way I left, I'm not happy with, but I'm fucking happy that I'm out of the job. And not one cop that I know at this point that's either in towards the end of their career or that has left. Not one of them has said to me at any point in time, like, oh, I wish I was still there. And I think you're in that same spot, right?
1,000%.
Yeah.
I even get guys say to me very often, they're like, you got to kind of miss it at times, right? And I'm like, no. Like, you know what I mean? And again, that's not me talking shit on the profession. Because while I was there was plenty of aspects of the job I did enjoy. But when you outweigh the good versus the bad, stepping away, my life has been on a better trajectory.
And I worked in the city that I grew up in. I worked in the city that my family dedicated our entire life to. My mom is still heavily involved in the community. My dad is still heavily involved. My brother, who's passed away, he's 22 when he dies. 1,700 people show up to his fucking funeral.
Wow.
1,700. You're going to get 4, right? He got 1,700. And it's like, fuck. So I'll tell you what I miss. I miss the camaraderie with some of the homies, right? Some of those dudes that like, all right, man, you really are like that 3 to 5 friend, right?
Yeah.
And those dudes are few and far between. I miss, though, being somebody that grew up in the community. When people would call 911 and I showed up, it was Tyler that showed up, not just some cop.
Yeah.
Right? And so I miss that. However...
Well, and let people know what you mean by that, because that's a really important aspect. Because what it tells me is you bring humanity to the job.
Yeah. So I think a lot of times when... And I kind of have a pretty good idea. I've probably listened to 70+% of your podcast. So I
Okay.
have a decent idea who you are. And then I know people that know you, right? So if you worked in my city, and I think you're probably a squared away, compassionate dude who makes good, smart decisions, and you show up to a call to a domestic or something, right? And it's a very emotional, volatile situation for a family, and you roll in, they're going to go, look at this dude with cauliflower ears and looks like a fucking Neanderthal and right, all this other shit, right? And you're just a uniform. I roll in and they go, oh shit, Tyler's here, right? And they probably wouldn't swear because I grew up in the church community, but they go, oh, Tyler's here. I went to an accident and I knew that this kid just got done with, he was one of the worship leaders at church, gets involved in a collision and he probably got knocked unconscious before I got there. And I roll up and it's now you're seeing this dude that you know, right? I know Tyler. And when his dad shows up, he's like, thank God it's you that is here helping my kid. Just because there's that connection, right? And so that's one thing I will say I miss that. But at the end of the day, man, you can, I'm gonna turn this down one. You can, I was given the opportunity through the job to be a service to the community, but you know as well as I do, you're probably more of service to community right now, running your BJJ school and your CrossFit gym and the podcast and the stuff that you're doing. You probably have more access to changing lives and being of help than you probably ever were sitting at the port or down in California doing your thing, right?
Yep, agreed.
And so, you know, you can look at it two ways. Like, oh, woe is me. I no longer have that ability, but I'm probably in better headspace now to help and be a part in that community than I maybe ever was.
Yes.
And now I bring with it too, right? 22 years. Just yesterday I was at a family function and we had some other friends there. And the person knows that I'm no longer in the job, but still coming to me and I still get phone calls. Hey, you're a cop or you were a cop. I need some help. Right. And so now you have that connection. And so that's kind of what I mean in regards to, that's one of the things I miss, but the rest of it and the people I talk to, nobody misses the job.
Yeah.
Right. And usually nobody misses the job because of all the bullshit they dealt with or how they end up leaving the profession. And I don't know, you tell me, I don't know a ton of people that left that profession fucking happy.
No, for sure. And the interesting thing is a lot of times, you know, people look at the professional law enforcement and they know it's long hours and it's a hard job and it takes an emotional toll on you. But I tell people very often, and again, I know you're not here to motherfuck the department, but it's also a big part of the stress of the profession comes from other cops.
Dude.
It's not about the bad guys that you're chasing down the street.
People would say, man, you're, you know, I hit like 20 years or something, or just whatever. They know that you're a cop. Oh, it must be so hard out there dealing with the bad guys.
The worst of the worst.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, dude, that was the easy shit, man.
Yeah.
Going out and facing that stuff that was sometimes fucking chaotic and life and death. Watching people die while you're trying to save their life, and then turn around and have to tell mom and dad, hey, I'm sorry, your kid's fucking gone. Right? That's right after my brother just died. So I haven't even processed my own shit, and now I'm doing this. Yes, hard. Yes, I would compartmentalize that. I would take that pain and I'd put it into another little bucket, and I go, I'll deal with that later, right?
Yeah.
I never feared the outside four walls of the agency like I did the internal four walls of the department.
Yeah.
And that's even before shit kicked off for me, right? Mm-hmm. And it was always funny to me, especially as a sergeant. I would hear from patrol guys, you know, the patrol morale is in the shitter, and I'm like, well, who's in fucking patrol? Like, that's you guys.
Yeah.
So you're sitting here telling me, it'd be like me coming to your school and the school going, oh, the morale around Electric North is bullshit. Well, you guys are all training here. Mm-hmm. It's your guys' culture. Yeah, you lead it maybe, and you might direct it, but you guys all showing up.
Yeah, have some ownership.
You guys are creating this. And then what's that do, right? It keeps, it spins it up. And then I think sometimes too, the way that admin, you tell me, I think sometimes the way that admin views their role, you start off in patrol and what are you doing? You're out chasing bad guys and you're making arrests and you're going after something. And then the stats that you get kind of bolster, right? Your status within your crew and within your side and the agency. And then you go to sergeant, you're still doing the same thing where you're kind of public facing, and you hit commander or lieutenant or captain or whatever. You're not out arresting bad guys now. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're overseeing other police officers.
Yeah. And then I was just talking to a cop this last week, and I go, look back over the guys that kind of promoted quickly or gained favor in the eyes of the chiefs or the city hall. Those were the guys that went after other cops. So we take this focus from external street level stuff, and now we go, well, I don't have people arrest now. I'm going to turn around and now I'm going to start, and maybe it's not a conscious thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the weird thing is like, I mean, I don't think either one of us would disagree with command staff going after bad cops. If you're out there and you're doing shitty things, by all means, like, because that's a representation of the rest of us.
100%.
But it very often becomes extremely petty and extremely personal. And that was something that really pushed me. I mean, you know how I left the profession. It was its own fucking saga. But it started to kind of let me know that I didn't have a lot of longevity in it anyways. Right. And the thing is, the port wasn't even that bad.
I know.
The port, and I say it all the time because I want people to understand, the port, when my agency, my office in Los Angeles was exactly what you're talking about, like to the max. Not only command staff always looking for things to ding people on, but even deputy to deputy. Like these weird little tiffs going on, and they'd try and find one. Oh, he's out of policy. I'm going to write up a dear chief, and it's like, man, you're supposed to be able to trust these people with your life, but we're trying to turn people in for carrying a taser out of Qual. This is not. It's not going to work.
Man, we had a guy that came from State Patrol, and he
I think I already know where this is going.
So his buddy calls me. His buddy, they're on the same crew. Officer's going to leave State Patrol and he's going to come to us. So his buddy calls me because his buddy knows me from training and a bunch of stuff. And he was like, hey, man, I need to talk to you about so-and-so. I go, okay, what's up? So he starts telling me the story, and he was like, dude, the guy's a good guy. He just needs, like, he's trying to help this guy come into our agency and try to build him into our culture and stuff. Some of the shit that they were going after him for is if he would get out on a stop, he'd call it out on I-5 and for the public, right? Especially on in every city, I could access all of the street cameras from my patrol sergeant computer. Well, your state patrol, same thing, right? So you're driving down the road. Some state trooper commander or captain could be sitting there watching all the traffic go by. So he calls out to stop at I-5 and whatever. They can watch him, and if he doesn't get out with his smoky on, his cap, they're writing him up. And like it's stuff like that they're going after dudes. Is this little tiny shit that you're just like, what the fuck are we doing, man? And it goes back,
and it comes down to leadership failure.
Yeah, real fast, you find a guy that you want to start to pinpoint, and now you're going to nitpick every little fucking thing, and it's just like, what are we doing, man?
Well, and the truth of it is, if you dig deep enough, you'll find something.
Dude,
welcome to being a human being.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you start to target people over personal shit, yeah, sure, you might. Yeah, they got out of their car without the hat on. Congratulations, you got them.
Right.
But what does that say, like bigger picture, about who you are as a leader?
You're right. And what's it say to now? You go back to that morale issue, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing now? You're nitpicking this little stuff, and meanwhile, the guy that you like because he's your homie or he was in the same unit as you, you're overlooking that, right?
Yeah.
And we it would be very evident, right? We had a patrol sergeant meeting one day, and so I was real big into use of force, and I'm an instructor in a bunch of different areas. And one day we're having this meeting, and I was talking about some use of force reports, and I said, hey, for the patrol commanders, I'm starting to see, because I would review every force report along with a few other guys. Mm-hmm. And I would just say, hey, I'm starting to see X, Y, and Z. And when you guys are reviewing these force reports, make sure that X, Y, and Z is being dealt with. That's it. No big deal. And so the assistant chief at the time, he's like, doesn't really say anything to me, says it to the group. Oh, if we're not going to identify people right now, then basically we need to shut the fuck up and move on. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to help keep your guys I'm trying to keep the department out of, issues. We already have an officer that's being charged with fucking murder right now. Like we have some big issues going on. The very next, so he wants to put a stop to it. Very next meeting, we had another issue with SWAT dudes. We all knew who they were, and nobody was naming them. And so the sergeants in the room were trying to get him to, hey man, name them. Who are these people? You just got done yelling at us a month ago.
Yeah.
Name them. And he basically says, shut the fuck up and we're moving on and it doesn't matter. And I'm just like, it's this inconsistencies where, right, we're really gonna bifurcate the agency where we're gonna go after certain groups of people and then we're not gonna go after others. And sometimes what we go after is some of the dumbest fucking shit that I've seen.
Yeah.
And is that stuff. And
well, and I saw that too in LA where, and sure, like if you have a low performer and you don't want that person on your shift or whatever the case may be, okay, well, let's start building the paper trail, right? Because at least in the feds and the Marshal Service, it would take an act of Congress to actually discipline somebody, let alone fire them.
right.
And so what they would do is they would always target the certain handful of deputies that higher up didn't like. And if I'm being completely honest, they weren't the best deputies in the department. Like there's a part of me that can understand what they didn't like about them.
Yeah, 100%.
But here's the flip side of that. Like one particular deputy was using the train, and our higher up decided that is outside of our gift policy because of how much a train pass is monthly.
Right.
So they decided to hem her up on that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think she said? Half the fucking department uses the train.
Right.
Why am I the one in trouble? Well, she's like, yeah, I see this person on the train. I see this person. I see this person. I was the person that got named because in Los Angeles, they say law enforcement rides for free because we want deputies and police officers on the train.
Yep.
So they said their policy is if you're wearing a marked jacket that lets people know you are a law enforcement officer, you ride for free. So you could just put your raid jacket on and now you ride for free. And they called all of us in and they're like, listen, we didn't want to get you guys in trouble for this. We were actually going after her, but she ratted you guys out. I was like, dude, that's the weakest shit ever.
Right.
Like, what is it? What way is it?
Yep.
That's how it is.
Yep.
Regardless of how you view us as individual deputies.
Yeah. And why, if you had issue, like you should have dealt with it at the very beginning.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen somebody get hired? You see somebody get hired and everybody, for the most part, is like, this is not going to work out. We had a dude right before I left that came in. Nice guy, right? I've only met him a couple times. But he, every single FTO, and this is another thing, all of our FTOs were 3.5-year cops. Right?
So yeah, they're
you know where I'm
still
going
young
with this,
cops
right?
themselves.
And they were trained by 3.5-year cops who were trained by 3.5-year cops, right? So try to flesh it out for the audience real quick is like, you get into the job and you can't do anything in most agencies until you hit 3.5 years or a class 1 officer, right? Meaning like I can't go put in for investigations. I can't put in for SWAT. Like I'm only focused on patrol. When I started in 2002, man, if you were even a 5-year cop and you wanted to be an FTO, I remember one guy who's going to go put in for FTO, and then you had like a 9 or 10-year cop put in and go, no, we're not going to let this 5-year cop who's not been into investigations or traffic or SWAT or canine start training our guys because, it was a little bit different back then. Now your departments are so young. The department I left, we're 117 commission, and I have a screen shot from a PowerPoint presented to us. Over half the department was less than 5 years on because so many people have left the profession.
That's what I was going to ask you. Having extremely young FTOs, do you attribute that to like a leadership failure or just retention is what it is?
It's I think it's attrition. It's so many senior guys in that like 15-year plus have left the department. A lot of guys have retired early. And
Everyone going to the port for their twilight tour.
Do you know where I come from? Don't say it, but do you know what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the port's hired probably
a lot of
15 of our dudes.
Yep.
I posted on. I think the port put out some guy broke the barrier and he's out running around on the tarmac doing stuff on the. And I was like, thank God my department was there to solve this for the port because half your fucking departments are guys.
Or that day that plane actually got stolen. Remember that one?
Oh, dude.
That
Sky
dude,
King?
Yeah, dude flew off and crashed it.
Yeah, that's been making its rounds on, at least on my
I've seen
on my
it too.
feed. And every time I'm like, dude, I kind of fucking get it.
Bro, I kind of get it too. Yeah. And it was actually, I mean, you're wearing a Mental Health Matters shirt. So it's like, man, you could hear in his voice, he needed something, man.
That dude is broken, man.
And he wasn't getting it.
That dude's broken. It makes me, just this last week, I've probably seen snippets of that video. I'm not joking, 30 times. And now where I'm at, I'm like, fuck, man, this guy. I just started watching Star Wars. You watch that?
I've never seen. I saw the original one when I was a little boy,
same
and
here,
then
man.
that's it.
So I was like, Star Wars, whatever, stupid. My kids are 15 and 13, and they're huge Star Wars fans. And so I started watching it just so I can connect with them. Anyway, all that to say, like, I'm like, man, Darth Vader's, I think he's kind of a good guy, right? Like, I get why Darth.
Yeah, he's just fucking dark.
Do you know why?
No, I do not.
Oh, so Darth Vader's got he's got a girl, and she's pregnant with twins. Ends up losing her. She gets killed. He's struggling with this good guy, bad guy stuff. His wife's dead, or I guess girlfriend, I don't know. Loses both kids. So now you've lost a wife and 2 kids, and it fucking breaks him. And then he goes basically to the dark side, and then he starts going down that path. And so his whole life, he's in this struggle of good and evil kind of thing, right? So
I'm intrigued now. I'm gonna watch it,
dude. I episodes 6, 7, or 7, 8, and 9, whatever. Like it got. But if you watch 1 through 6, and you go back to like you watch his not orientation story, but his like his genesis, like how he comes about. He's battling this good and evil side of him. The same thing that you and I do.
Yeah.
Prior to this massive loss, and then he goes off and he becomes Darth Vader and all that stuff. But then at the end of the day, right, he kind of flips and he destroys the Death Star and all this shit. So anyway, Sky King, man.
So maybe my story does end with me becoming Darth Vader still.
Or maybe you go in and out of it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
How many times, I said, I've listened to most of your stuff. How many times and we all battle it, right?
For sure,
dude.
man.
Every fucking day, I still wake up, and it's like, dude, you can, especially when I was in my prime of not good headspace.
Yeah,
man, you could. I know what darkness is, dude, and I fucking chose it. I chose darkness because it was like, only me, I'm isolated, I'm by myself, and fucking whatever happens.
And if people have never been in that space, they may not understand it, but the darkness starts to become familiar. The darkness starts to feel like home.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, fuck everything. I just want to sit here, you know? I'm actually reading a book right now that I'm almost done with. It's called The Dark Side of Light Chasers. And it's actually pretty fascinating because as men like us, and Chris, you'll appreciate this, where like you come from a place that does have a lot of darkness to it. And it can be, you know, like you said, like watching kids die, or even constant stress with your peers or your bosses. Like all that shit starts to compound as darkness.
Yep.
And so when we try and step out of that, what do we try and do? We try and chase love and light. And it's like, no, peace and happiness and freedom and like all the things that bring us joy. But this lady's, the whole book's premises is like, if your mission becomes trying to fully embrace peace, happiness, joy, and light, you're going to be just as out of balance on that side.
Yeah, dude.
And you have to understand that both elements are part of who we are. And you have to enjoy or accept both elements as what they are.
Yep.
And if you try and hide from your darkness or not face your shadow or not acknowledge those parts of you, then you're going to be just as out of a balance as if you're fully in the darkness and not in touch with the light side of you.
Right.
And it's kind of weird because she's like, every single one of us has a liar inside of us. Every one of us has a jerk. Every one of us has, and she goes, and you start going as dark as you can go. Is there a murderer inside of you? Yes, there is. Like there's some place in a corner of you that's so dark that you probably don't want to acknowledge it. But to find balance, you have to understand that's all part of who we are.
Man, you can't have 100%. You can't know true joy until you know true darkness and despair, and vice versa. And I was just the same thing. I do a lot of reading, a lot of podcasting, a lot of stoicism. I started getting into once I got through Warrior Path. I think you're maybe familiar.
No.
Oh, really? What
is Warrior Path?
So Warrior Path is a program under the Permission to Start Dreaming Foundation. And so basically what it is it's a 90-day program, and it's for first responders, military, 100% free, paid for by Uncle Sam or whoever.
Okay.
And there's only like 3 locations around the country. One's out in Gig Harbor or Port Orchard, and then Texas and somewhere else. And so basically what it is it's 90 days. You show up, you're only in house for 7. So they'll fly you. I went with 10 dudes, all guys. And they flew everybody from around the country out to this, all, like I said, all paid for. So you spend 7 days in house. And then you do another 83 days, and it's just on your phone. So it's an app basically. And then in that 83 days, you have timed out, or like every couple of weeks, you would have a Zoom meeting with your homies and a path guide. And then you would kind of talk about like, hey, what's been going on since path, and what have you learned? What wellness practices are you maintaining? Take a look at your spiritual, physical, emotional, financial, like those numbers. You score it like 1 to 5. Where you at? And so it's just kind of keeping you on track. And so every day I would watch a short little video, 5-7 minutes, right? And they would go, hey man, remember back on day 1 we talked about this, and now we're going to take you a little bit deeper. Here's something to read, kind of thing. The path guides, the thing that connected with me a lot in path was the path guides. I've been through a ton of counseling, man. EAP, right? You walk in the department and you pull that little tab and you call an EAP dude. And every time I went to a counselor or marriage counselor or even a counselor on my own, they mean well, but it's just some dude that went to school, read a bunch of books, and then came out and was like, I'm going to tell people how to live, right? And it never connected, man.
I'm still waiting to find the expert on how to live.
Oh, fuck, dude, seriously. But the path guides were nice because it's like, hey, I'm a local Green Beret over here at Fort Lewis. Hey, I was the number 1 anesthesiologist in Afghanistan, and I'm high as fuck on pills. Meanwhile, I'm administering meds to these soldiers that we're trying to fix up. Like, I'm done with this. Hey, I've been in the military for 40 years. My son kills himself while he's in the States and I'm overseas, and now I'm a fucking wreck. Like, so your path guys they're dudes like you and me, man. They've been through the process a little bit longer, and they've learned now that balance. Like, I know how dark I can get. I also know I'm not super joyful, right? But I also know what joy is, right? Like, here's the extent of my joy. You have kids, right?
Yep.
Couple, 2 or 3.
3 daughters.
Yeah. You ever want a boy?
Bro, I'm still trying for the boy. Jenny's cut me off though. She says, that's it, dude. Yeah. Zing. True joy, man. Like, I never really knew it until my daughter. So she was 2 months preemie. She was, my wife had preeclampsia at the time, and pretty risky birth. And I remember like, yeah, I'm going to love this kid. And like, I have no idea. And then as soon as she comes out and I hold her for the first time, just this massive explosion of like, just fucking love and joy. And like, this is my daughter. And then I have a son. I'm so jealous of that, dude. Because I hear a lot of fathers talk about that moment.
Yeah.
Man, I got home from Iraq right before my daughter was born.
Yeah.
And she was born and I was just holding her and I couldn't connect. I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
You know?
Why do you think that? Why do you think you couldn't connect?
I think that pregnancy, I literally found out while I was deployed.
Yeah.
And Jenny even said to me, she goes, I can't deal with deployments anymore as a mom. And I was like, I agreed with her. I was like, okay, it's time to put this lifestyle behind me.
Right.
So I told my team, hey, this is it. I'm done. And as soon as I redeployed home, my whole life I knew was on a totally new trajectory that I had no idea where I was going to go. Mm-hmm. And so that's just, I mean, you know how it is same thing with cops, like trying to find your identity. Who am I? Where do I go from here? Like, all of that was happening, but it was happening. And I don't think I like put blame on her. It wasn't like, oh, you fucking ruined me being who I am. But at the same time, it was just a very confusing. Yeah. And then also, you know, like out of my 3 daughters, the first pregnancy I would say was the hardest on my wife, and not even really physically, but like, hormonally, but it affected her, like her spirit and her mood more than like her body didn't have any physical issues. But you know how that is. Like a pregnancy can be a really, really tough thing to navigate. And it was a test for us for sure.
Yeah. How do you feel now though, that you're a little bit further along that path? Do you feel that joy now with your kids?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm very connected to my kids now. And you know, the truth is too, I would say I'm very connected to 2 of the 3, and the other one, don't get me wrong, we have a great relationship, right, but we're just different people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I'll try and connect with her and be like, hey, how'd your day go? Fine. Oh, how was gymnastics? Good. Like,
Yeah.
am I annoying you right now?
Dude, it's tough. It's tough, man. Yeah.
I was like, you always give me one word answers. It feels like you don't want to talk to me. No, I do. I don't care. And I was just like,
you know what though? So my daughter's talkative. She'll talk with me, but she's such a deep thinker, man. So it's really interesting. So I have a boy and a girl, and my girl's older and my boy's younger. My daughter is so I don't buy birthday presents anymore, right? So what we do is, hey, you're 15. What do you want to do? And I'll take them on a trip. We're gonna go on an excursion. My boy just turned 13. We went up to Talklock Lake for 3 days, and we just camped in the woods and did dude shit, right?
That's cool.
It's fucking awesome, man. And but I was with my daughter, and we were on this long road trip, and we're headed out to like Port Orchard or something, and super quiet. And so I start questioning in my mind, like, is she having fun? And then it took me a sec to kind of step back and go, no, man, this trait of yours, this trait that I have, that's pretty quiet and very introspective. I'll sit for days in my head. That's what she is. So she is connecting. She's just connecting in her own way. When she doesn't connect, like my boy's like, hey, dude, we were at the lake yesterday, and all he wants to do is jump off the dock and jump in the water. And I'm like, I'm fucking done jumping, dude. Right? But that's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring him to jujitsu. And it's the first time, I think, probably the longest of your podcast where jujitsu hasn't come up, huh?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about jiu-jitsu. That's mandatory.
Right.
So thank you. Yeah, thank you for straightening this out.
Yeah, no worries. But he, and then we're going to get into some crystals or some shit like that too, right?
Yeah.
So, but even at jiu-jitsu, like that's all he wants to do. He's like, I'm only training with you kind of thing. And so it's just interesting. So all I'm trying to say is like, maybe there's that connection there a little bit. You're just trying to figure out like, how do they connect? And then you giving yourself some grace on the other, like, oh, I'm not connecting, when reality is maybe you are, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and the thing is, it's like parenting is a journey, like any journey, where you have some of the pieces, but you don't have all the pieces. And it doesn't matter if they're 2 or 12 or 20. It's an ongoing journey.
I tell my kids all the time, like, you know what, so I'm divorced. Just as much as your mom and I are watching you grow up, you're watching us grow up.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do. You just watched me leave law enforcement. You watched me in my darkness. You saw me. I'm not proud of it. You saw me fucking drunk and crying on the kitchen floor, and you're 7, right? And you're now having to deal with dad's bullshit.
Yeah.
Bro,
do you say that to them?
Yeah.
See,
I don't swear, but
I do too.
Yeah,
I also swear though.
I kind of swear.
No, like a perfect example is, like little shit that compounds can start to, before you know it, like elicit a response.
Yeah.
And I live with 4 females.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, maybe when they are interacting amongst each other, like, hey, who left this thing on the counter? It's not mine. It is 2 years. I saw you leave it out. Well, it's because I'm still drinking it. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Like, like I can't, my brain, my nervous system can't sit in female conflict. It just can't.
Yeah.
And so I would be like, hey, listen, I cannot be around you guys when you're fighting. And it goes like, my wife gets pulled into it with them sometimes. I say, I can't be around this, right? I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know 1 or 2 things has to happen. If you guys are going to have a fight about dumb shit, about a cup of milk left out, let me know and I'll walk out. Or wait till I'm not present, because I don't want to be immersed in that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so come downstairs the other day, and they're fighting about stuff, and there's blankets everywhere, and it's a mess, and it's just like, all right, now I got to fucking take charge. And I kind of lost it on them. And then I sat for about 10 minutes and was like, calm my nervous system down. And then I called a family meeting at the table, and I'm like, hey, listen, I overreacted. I said things that I shouldn't have said.
Yeah.
I'm a just like you said, I'm still a person trying to figure out how to show up as the best version of myself day in and day out, and I stumble. Now, do I think how you guys were acting is acceptable? I still do not. But the way in which it triggered me, that's my problem to face. And it wasn't fair to make it your problem. And like, dude, it doesn't matter if they're 10, 13. They like the authenticity.
Yeah.
And they feel it.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have a full understanding of like big picture, they can tell like, okay, dad snapped, but now dad is coming at me with calming energy and he's owning it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of parents don't think that you should own things to your kids. And it's like, it's leadership 101, man.
Dude, 100%. It's so if you take parents being command staff and the children being officers. When I was a sergeant, I would always tell command, like, dude, you guys need to show some humility. If you make a decision or you start to implement a new form to be signed off by the troops or whatever, and it's wrong, then just fucking say it's wrong. Hey, we tried this. It didn't work. My bad. And if you're the officer, show some fucking grace, because that dude, he's no smarter than you. He's no better than you. He just has a different position than you. And he's trying to figure it out too at the same time. And as a parent and as a child. So as the parent, show some humility. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You saw me in a very bad headspace, and I'm sorry. I don't want you to grow. You're going to grow up and have some issues because of me, but I don't want it to be because I was drinking.
Yeah.
Right? And then at the same time, you also, kid, need to give me some grace. Like, hey, I'm trying to figure this stuff out too. When I have no idea what I was doing walking into parenthood, and from my parents, the things that I saw, it was never that like that really emotional connection. So I never learned it, right?
Yeah.
And then you get into this job that you and I are in, and you have this personality that you and I have, and we become so extreme, right? We're all the way fucking on, or we're all the way fucking off, and that's not how we live life. And so I'm right now trying to figure. I'm further along than I was, but I'm trying to figure out where is that balance for me, and what triggers me to the dark side, and then what triggers me to the good side, and being able to walk in the middle of that. And I want you guys to see that.
Yeah.
So I think I was driving with my daughter the other day, and it was just her and me. And I asked her what she thought about, I said, do you think I share too much with you? Do I put more adult style or issues? Do I put it out there too much? And she honestly was like, no, I think, she goes, I understand why you're doing it. I understand what you're trying to train us and raise us up to be. She goes, sometimes you've gone overboard, and now you've put me in a position where, I'm 13, dad's drunk. And now if, she's worried about fires because of all the Sumner grade fires down there in the South 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We got evacuated, and it was crazy for them. For me, I was like, fuck, whatever, man. Almost lost my house.
That's something that
very traumatizing.
She's worried about.
And she said, no, I get it, right? So you're trying to expose that stuff to us, and I'm kind of glad you do. And so when you were though in that dark space, like now you're overboard, because now you're putting your responsibility on me. And she talks like this, man. She's 15. She's super smart.
Bro, isn't it like my 16-year-old feels like a full-grown adult?
Dude, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
But I'll tell you this, man, because the reality of being a man and raising a family is you are going to fall short at times, and you're going to end up drunk and being an ass sometimes, or you're going to yell sometimes, or you're going to treat their mother in a way that you shouldn't have treated their mother, and they're going to witness that. Like, all that is part of the process.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that is key is to, like I said, is to try and own it with them. And the reason I say this is, like, me and my father did not have a good relationship growing up.
Right.
We grew up in the 80s. Like, dads were still just hard back then.
Yeah.
Smoking Marbreds and turning wrenches and drinking whiskey, like every single day.
Right.
And, like, I'm sure you're familiar with some of the work that Chris does and some of the plant medicine ceremonies and stuff. And something that I see a lot of men struggle with is the broken connection with their father. But I'll tell you what happened is, after I joined the military, I was 18, and my dad sat me down and he owned it all. He's like, hey, I struggled being a dad, and I'm sorry.
Right.
And I did the best I could. I want a better relationship with you. Like, everything we're talking about. And I remember exactly where he was out in his garage, standing next to his Bronco, 18 years old, like, becoming a man, but still a kid too, like, in that transition.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience, that single conversation, in my opinion, really wiped the slate clean of a lot of the problems that we had between each other.
Right.
And so it's like, it's important for parents to hear this, because something as simple as a conversation where you own it, where you take responsibility for your shortcomings, that could erase traumas that your child might carry the rest of their life if you don't have that conversation. Because people are always seeking closure and answers.
Yeah.
And if they don't find that, man, it sticks to them.
Yeah, it's and it they then take that and they turn it into their other relationships too, right? So that's one thing I'm trying to do as best I can. And Chris's daughter just got married, right? We went to the wedding, and she's just a week ago, I think. Now she's living in Virginia, and it's like, dude, you only get her for a little bit. She now is walking into a marriage that she's going to start to create and build. And she's going to take everything good and bad that you and your wife have done over the course of her 18, 19, 20 years. And now she's going to try to apply that to her marriage. And now she's going to end up having kids and all that stuff. So those 18, 19 years that you have right now, man, if you not I don't say if you fuck it up, but if you don't take ownership for the bad things, now you're going to perpetuate that into your grandkids. You're going to perpetuate that into their marriage. And so I think I'm a better dad than I thought I ever would be, to be honest, man. I thought like, oh, I'll have kids and be cool. I didn't realize the amount of love and joy and maybe because I'm divorced. I wonder. I only see my kids 2 days a week. Yeah, more than that because I'm out at their stuff. Like if they have some event, I'm
games
like,
and stuff.
Dude, I'm going to it. Like I'm fucking going. But I sometimes wonder, like, are you a better dad because you only get certain amounts of time? And I know that time is so precious. One of the reasons I enjoy being out of law enforcement is now I'm more present. A couple weeks ago, you're like, hey, man, let's hook up on Wednesday. I'm like, dude, I'm going to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I'm fucking gone for the next 14 days. Screw you and your podcast. I'm going out and I'm hanging with the kids. I'll tell you right now, man, I've never been more present physically, emotionally, and spiritually than I have that last 2 weeks. And it was because, one, I'm in much better headspace. And then two, like dude, Tyler, you have 2 weeks to be 100% present with these kids. And someday, one, I might crash on the way home, or two, they're going to be just like Chris's kid and they're going to be gone and you're not going to get this again. So
I saw a meme. So if it was on the internet, it has to be true, but it was, and I forget the exact numbers. I want to say it was 80%, but it said, as a father, 80% of the time that you will spend with your child happens before their 12th birthday. And it's like, whoa, hold on a second, right?
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I don't know if that's factually accurate, but I'm sure the statistic has a lot of truth behind it.
Well, I mean, look at your own life, right? You got three. Your youngest is how old?
10.
Okay.
So yeah, when they're 10, they're not attached to you like when they're smaller, but they're still.
But they're also not attached to friends like they are when they're 16. They're not out driving.
Well, my 16-year-old got her license, and we didn't even tell her to do this. She went out and got a job, and she's like, "No, I want to work." And dude, she works at a restaurant, and she comes home sometimes with like $345 cash.
Oh, and tips?
And tips.
Now it's not taxed, right?
And now it's not taxed. I was like, dude, you made $345 this evening?
Right.
And she's like, yeah. And it's funny because her friends have gotten like what most 16-year-olds working at Chipotle or whatever the case may be. And they're bringing home like $300 a paycheck.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I've always wanted to, she wants to go to culinary school.
Oh, okay, cool.
And she goes, so if I want to be a chef one day, I think it's important that I understand how to work at a restaurant. And I was like, how are you smarter than me about life already?
Because your wife. Because your wife.
Yeah. But it's cool watching her just go on this journey. But to the point, I never see her anymore. Yeah. She's always gone.
Yeah. But she lives in your house.
She lives in my house.
Right. She still eats your food.
Yeah.
But now you're at that point where you've probably seen that, right? So it's more anecdotal to you in the sense that you're like, oh yeah, that resonates with my life because I see it. Yeah. And so yeah, you're right, man. It's I know it's going to go away at some point. My hope is when they turn 18, 19, 20 and they're off doing their thing, like I just want them to have I want them to have a good relationship. I want them to be able to call me too when things are bad. Yes. Right. When I was going through all my stuff, like I would tell my mom kind of what was going on, but I would never reach out. I would never reach out to neither parent. I never even reached out, to nobody. Why? Because you
don't want to look like a pussy.
I don't want to be a pussy. I don't want to admit that I need help. I'm the dude that you call when you need help. Yeah. And it's not the other way around, right? And that part of that's trained into us as law enforcement, military, like, you're on SWAT, right? And you're carrying your pager, and that shit goes off. And you're like, oh, the community called and had a bad day. They called the cops. The cops called me. Yeah. Look at who I am, right? So yeah, you never reach out. And my hope is my kids feel like, on that really bad day that they go, shit, I need to call dad because he's going to help.
Have you partaken in any of the ceremonial stuff with Chris?
No, I have not, man. And
Okay. I'll tell you this, man, because I don't know exactly where I land on plant medicine, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And I've done probably 7 or 8 ceremonies at this point.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that kind of believes plant medicine is simply a mirror that's held right in fucking front of you, and you gotta understand what's going on.
Right.
You get to see yourself, and that's why it can be really, really dark for some people, or it can be really, really light for some people, kind of depending on what headspace you're in or where you're at. But one thing that holds true is, people won't be able to comprehend what this means unless they have experienced it. But when people always say like, "Oh, open up your heart," or "I love you from the bottom of my heart," or "I don't feel it in my heart," it's like
these euphemisms.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The heart pumps blood, bro. Last year I learned what that meant, and it's like you can hold emotions inside of your heart.
Yeah.
And you can feel emotions inside your heart. It's a different energy system. And I learned that through a heart medicine ceremony.
Yeah.
And ever since that, I mean, people will call it a chakra or whatever, however you want to describe it. But ever since that was cracked open, I can feel other people's emotions. Not like I'm psychic, right? But I have empathy now. I used to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like a single moment changed that. And so it can be very powerful.
It could be. And so I swear a lot, but I love Jesus. Right? So I'll tell you right now, and I've been stirred up with Chris, is like I'm not opposed to any of it, and I'm very curious about it. Like, should I do it? Right now, the techniques that I use right now to calm myself and ground myself and get myself to a good headspace, like I don't need the psychedelic stuff. I've heard a lot of great stuff. I'll be honest though, you came back from that first trip and you were like, "Fuck, man, I don't know if I did anything." And
for sure.
So I was listening to that podcast because I knew Chris was down there, and I thought, that's interesting. Greg went down there with the intention of like, "Hey, I think you probably went full in."
Yeah.
Right? So full send. And then you come back from it and you're like, man, I don't know if I got it. And I thought, oh, okay, well, shit, if he didn't get it, then cool. Like, I think I'm kind of good right now. And I'll tell you my, I know you're kind of into some of the woo-woo shit, right? Like,
I'm into plenty of it.
If you, I believe in spirits. I think that there's angels and demons around. Before I even got here for the last 2 days, because this came up fucking quick, I was praying, Lord, I pray that your presence is in this room before I even walk in, because I want to be, I want to have clarity of thought in mind. I don't want to walk in here and just fuck the agency. I want to share, hey, here's what's going on. I want to put out some truth, because right now there's a lot of lies out there about me and my integrity and who I am.
Yeah.
But if I jump into this, what I would perceive to be the spirit world through plant medicine, I'm not doing it through the blood of Christ. Like, am I outside of that, right? And the Bible talks about there's sons of Sceva, and so there's basically demonic possession, basically, and they're inside of a person. And this one guy is walking around and he's doing all this like healing stuff, and he's casting out demons. Well, he comes into the sons of Sceva and he's like, "Hey, get out of them." And they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "Well, I know Paul and I know Jesus." And they're like, "Well, I fucking know him too." And they beat his ass, right? Because he's trying to jump into that spirit world outside of the true blood of Christ. And so that's how I view the psychedelic stuff. Like, I'm into it, man. Like, I want to hear your story. I want to hear what other people say. I don't know how I feel about it, and I'm not opposed to it. I just go, man, if I'm doing good with these other techniques, do I need to get into something that I'm not fucking prepared for?
Well, and here's the truth about psychedelics, and everybody that actually is speaking truth will tell you the same thing. Don't do it because it worked for Chris, or it worked, or I had an epiphany. Like, it has to be sought after by your soul, 100%. Right? And everybody else can talk about it as much as they want, but nobody should be trying to convince you of it, because if you go because your homie Chris thinks it's a good idea, you're there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, he doesn't push it, right? We've had we've camped for fucking years. And I remember one time we were drinking around the campfire and he started some shit. And I was like, this motherfucker, I want to fight him right now. Right. And he knows. And it was funny because years later, this one incident, years later, he even came to me again, drinking over the campfire. And he's like, dude, remember that time? I go, I fucking remember. He's like, my bad. And so we're,
a lot of power in that.
Oh yeah, dude. Tons of it. It's funny that he remembered it. The exact same incident. So the second he brought it up, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, and I've had to do this to other people too. Like, you say you're my homie. And I'm like, dude, you're going down the wrong path. You need to do this and this. And you're going, shut the fuck up, man. That's not my path. That's you.
Yeah.
And so the last couple of years, I've really learned, like, you know what, man, with some of my friends, one, I'm not going to listen to people that I don't put a lot of, I think you're probably a cool dude, but I'm not balls deep on you, man. Like, like I said,
good. I don't want you to be.
Yeah, the other people though that I try to talk to, same thing. Like, hey man, I want to encourage you in the right direction. I want to help you maintain physical health. I want to see you grow in your relationship with your family. I want to see you be a better father. I want to see you in a headspace, man, where it's cops. This job is not destroying you every fucking night. Mm-hmm. I want you out, dude. How many cops do you still talk to that are like, man, I want out. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, every single one. Where I work now, I don't want to talk about where I'm at for various reasons, but I'm in contact with leadership from South County agencies, mm-hmm. and every time, so my boss would be like, hey, go chat up the cops because you are a cop, and so hey, blah 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 blah, and they're like, how'd you get this job? And I start telling them, and well, what'd you do? And how many years did you have in? And how'd you work out the retirement? And every single one of them wants out. And they, these guys are guys and gals. Man, I only promoted because I wanted off the street because I didn't want to deal with all the bullshit that was coming down from the state. And now I'm in these positions where now I'm being ordered to, same thing we were talking about at the beginning. Now I'm ordered to go after these cops. I'm having to deal with all their bullshit. I don't want to be here. I fucking hate it. But if I can only make it 18 more months, if I can only make it 2 more years, and I'm going.
Sometimes it's if I can only make it 12 more years.
Yeah.
When you're like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Well, I'm over halfway done. So you're gonna give up 8 years of your life. Like you already said it earlier. Like I don't know if I'm gonna make it home driving home from the podcast. Mm-hmm. Right? To allocate a decade of your life to something that is no longer serving you. And here's the craziest thing about it. You can make more money driving for UPS. So I don't think it's about the money anymore, but it's
fear.
It's fear because like you, regardless of where you go, you're going to have to step into an unknown.
It's fucking scary too.
And
it wasn't scary when I was 22. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm 22. That's all I want to do is be a cop. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to train. I'm going to work hard to get this job. And if I don't get it, right? If I, your tics are a disability and you can't come in. Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't built anything. So who fucking cares? Now I'm going to go over here and do this.
And you don't have a bunch of people relying on you either.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it.
How scary is that?
Because when I got fired, mm-hmm. that's what a lot of my friends were saying. And some of them, they're like, Greg, you got kids, man. What the fuck are you doing? Because they're like, if you pull the video down, you won't get fired. And I was just like, fuck you, dude. I can't, right? But at the same time, you can understand where people start to, they have their house, they have their boat, they have 3 kids. Mm-hmm. And the thought of having to start over is terrifying to them.
Yep.
But the other side of that coin is a life that's not serving you. And it's like, fuck, how do you balance that out? And the thing is, you're never going to set yourself free if you don't at least try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very scary. It's very scary. It was scary for me to walk away. Luckily, I walked away on my own terms. I was just like, I know exactly what the next 9 years would have brought me, and I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So if I walk away and I make a little bit less money, give 2 shits, man. I'm still paying all my bills. I'm still saving tons in retirement. I know that I've seen enough death, and I've experienced it with my brother. I know that, dude, I'm not guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah, this is finite.
I can stay in this horrible fucking environment, and I was making good money. Like I was maxed out on my deferred comp, paying my child support, had a bunch of just fuck off money. Not that I ever fucked off, but like it was just sitting there. So then I started investing. Like And now
it was working.
Now I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. Now I just pay my bills, and I, instead of buying the actual Tylenol, I buy acetaminophen for $2 from Walgreens or some shit. Right. Making those kind of decisions. But just because I'm still socking away a shit ton of money, and I just choose not to work a ton of overtime because I know that my daily life is way more important than this. We're so conditioned, especially in America, I think, to chase that almighty dollar. And so you get these guys in law enforcement that now you're trying to provide a service to the community, and you're broken.
Yeah.
And we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the amount of cops that go home and drink their face off all weekend, fight with their fucking spouse and their kids, and then show back up on Monday, and then they're out head on calls. So I had to testify.
Solving problems for other people.
Yeah. Dude,
think about that.
And you're good at it.
Uh-huh.
I think you're good at it, right? But then you turn around, and again, you need that help, and you're not willing to open up and say you need it. Our agencies, all of them, they give a lot of lip service to, take care of yourself, take a day off.
Yeah, of course.
And nothing. When I was on, I was on admin leave for a while. We'll get into it a little bit. But when I was on that admin leave, we had 2 people in rehab out of state. We had another home on surgery recovery, and then we had some others that were out. And so the one that was home on surgery, I would check in on him. Hey, man, what's up? How'd your surgery go? You good? Yeah. How things going at home? I go, have you heard from the department at all? He goes, no. I got one phone call, and it was from a commander over in the investigations division. Not even hey, man, what's up? How you doing? How'd surgery go? It was,
needed to know something about a case?
No. Can you come in and work investigations with your broken foot so that we can, go start getting some of our cases? And he's like, he needed time, and he knew this. Like, he knew he was starting to, he was really struggling, man. And he was like, hey, I'm hoping that this surgery kind of helps me reset a little bit. And the only phone call he gets from the department was that. And then these other 2 that are in rehab, no fucking communication from the department. We go off and we hire a like a wellness coordinator or something that's now in the department all the time. And this person's going to be your mental health advocate. Not one fucking phone call. So I contact the spouses of these people, and I said, hey, I know that so-and-so is in rehab, basically. What's their schedule? Do they have a phone? Can I contact them? Contact them both. And they were only, like noon to 2 on a Sunday. They hit me back. Hey, man, it's really good to hear from you. Thanks for checking in. You're the only one that's reached out to me. And I'm like, what a fucking failure of leadership.
Well, and that's something I talk about often. I'm sure you've heard me say it. It's like the slogans that are painted in the lunchroom and down the side of your car and honor, integrity, service, like all this stuff. It's all cool stuff to say. And they will always preach family first.
Yep.
Everybody preaches family first.
Yep.
But what you see more often than not, and again, this is not casting shade. This is just an observation. Once you are in need of any type of help and the department feels like it's going to put them out at all, they just hang people out to dry. And I don't know if it's even necessarily like not calling those people, not checking in on those people. Is that intentional, or is it just out of sight, out of mind? And they actually don't care about you as a person. They care about you as an employee.
Yeah.
And once you're not there as a billet to fill, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I tell people this all the time too. The day you leave, nobody cares.
No.
The machine keeps churning.
Yep.
It's going to keep doing what it does. And it doesn't matter if you are there or not, because there are a handful of people that have reached out to me. They're like, well, I don't want to leave my guys. And it's like, okay, I can understand the honor in that, but let me bring you back to reality, right? Because at the end of the day, you are not the priority. The department is. And that's just, and again, if you like being a cop or you're called to be a cop and you want to go experience that, like, I'm not saying that to try and turn anybody away from it. It's just kind of how the culture of the profession is.
I would say it's probably more on the side of out of sight, out of mind. I don't believe giving grace to even the guys that I think, like, especially in my dark time, oh, fuck these guys, they fucked me over, and all the negative stuff you say to yourself. Giving them grace, right? I'm a sinner just as much as they are. So for me to give them grace, I go, you know what? I wasn't there. They got fucking cases. They got 911 calls to handle. Are they going to call me on their off time? Half of them, I wouldn't share fucking bread with you anyways, nor do I want your phone call.
Yeah.
But had you called,
I don't want you in my house.
had
I don't
you
even want
called,
you in my phone.
that would have, I guarantee, had certain people called and checked in on me, that would have meant a great deal in my darkness, right? So yeah, if you're looking at going into law enforcement, it gets talked about at the academy. I never truly understood it though, and that's the downside, I think, with life is you learn and you hear a bunch of stuff as a young man, and you don't realize it until you go through it. And unfortunately, I think I know Chris is like me, you're probably like me. Man, I got to learn that lesson in jiu-jitsu. I got to get beat up by one technique over and over and over and over until I fucking learn, oh, don't put my weight there. Don't do this. Don't give them just one arm, right?
Yep.
But I had to get choked out 72 times before I went, oh yeah, no shit, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And so now as you start to grow up, you start to learn. So what I'm saying is, hey, if you're looking at jumping into that career field, the faster that, and I'm glad I learned it at 45, the faster that you learn, you are just a number. The job will always be there.
Yes.
It's always going to be there. If I never, my brother died, and I was like, I didn't miss 1 hour of SWAT training. I didn't miss one fucking call out. I didn't miss nothing, right? I was there, and shame on me. And I remember the first call out that we got right after he passed.
And how old were you at the time?
Shit, I don't know. 33.
Okay.
No. Cameron was 22, 31, 32, right around there.
Yep.
So still young dude, probably, right? Not super smart. And so we get the page, and I was the team leader for our agency, and I was an ATL for the team. So had to call back to the main team leader and, hey, here's the numbers. And so I go, hey man, from our agency, you got 6. And he knew that meant me. And he goes, Bill Blowers. And Blowers is like, he goes, dude, you're coming? I go, yeah, I'll be there. He's like, I don't think you should. And I go, I'm good, man. He's like, just sit it out, man. It's no big deal. I'll say this. Blowers was the only one that I think that really meant family first, because I saw him live it.
Yeah.
And he, when I left the team, the first person I called was Bill. And I said, hey man, I just turned in my letter. And he's like trying to talk me out of it. And it meant a fucking great deal to me to have a guy of that stature go, dude,
we want you.
I want you. Stay, right? And after about the third time, I said, man, I'm trying to keep my family together, man. I'm trying to hold this down. And he was like, okay.
I get it.
And then it was done. It was never even a comeback to anything. So anyway, he allows me to go on the mission. And I show up on that first one, and he sticks me in the back fucking 40, dude. Like
perimeter.
Yeah. And thank God he did, right? Because now I'm way out there, and I have.
Well, but here's another thing to think about, right? Like even if your brother's passing didn't have an emotional impact on that specific operation, what if you did get into some hairy shit and it got litigated, and you're on the stand, and it's like, well, you know what I mean? It just
But going back,
a lot of things could be misconstrued in that.
100%. He was 100% right. I never should have fucking been there. But going back to, I felt the need. I had to prove to you that I was a tough guy.
Yeah.
I had to prove to you that I was there. I'm here for the team, right? And so these young guys coming in, it's like, man, I hope that people behind me and people behind you learn at a younger age, dude, be home with your fucking family. Take care of that shit, because that job is never going to be there when you need it. I think I've taken Chris home from the hospital more than his wife has, maybe, right? I'm sitting in there. Last time we were at the hospital, I just call her. I'm like, hey, it's me again. I'm with Chris. We're at the hospital, and I guess I'll just bring him home. And she's like, okay, is it good? Yep. All right, I'll see you when you get home. Like, to her now, it's like, well, he's in the fucking hospital again. and the agency response is like, again, nothing. No check-in on him. No checking to see if he's okay. The last one, he got hit by a fucking Mack truck, dude, and KO'd him for a while. Car's demolished. And so I just got off work. I get a call from one of my guys. Hey, Chris just got in a car accident. He's in the hospital. You need to fucking go. And I'm like, yeah, I'm en route. I go down to the scene first, and I see the car accident. I see the car. The chief's there. And he's like, what are you doing? Oh, you're off, right? And I go, yeah, I'm off, but so-and-so called me. You're not putting in for overtime, are you? And I was like, Jesus fuck. I go, no, one, he's my homie, and I'm going to go check on him. I'm going to make sure he gets to the house. I'm going to take care of his wife. And, But
hey, God forbid the agency's out $153.
right, for my callback. And I was like, no, I'm not. So anyway, man, if you're that young cat, just know.
The last thing I'll say on this topic that I always like to, I think it's important for people to hear is one thing that I don't get it much anymore because it's been 5 years, but that first year that I separated, they're like, a lot of people wrote me and they're like, man, I want to leave the profession. But you had something to fall back on. I don't have anything. I heard that so many times. You had jujitsu to fall back on.
Right.
Dude, jujitsu is not something that can typically feed a family of 5 unless what? Unless you nurture it and you build something and you create.
Yeah.
And now guess what? It is something that can feed my family. But what I think is important for people to hear is don't tell yourself those self-limiting beliefs is just because you're a cop, you don't have anything to fall back on.
Right.
And if you look at yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, do you have any other value? Do you have any other skills? Do you have any other thing that could potentially provide some type of income? And if the answer is truly no, then continue to build yourself as a man
Right.
in other areas outside of being a cop.
Yeah.
And whatever, I can't answer what that's going to be for you, but make sure you're still chasing things and you're developing yourself and you have something that you can bring to the table outside of the gun and the badge.
Dude, it's so important. So many cops have a skill set, I think, that a lot of the people in the general population sometimes don't have. And so some of the guys I know that have left the job and they've gone on to these corporate gigs, they were scared making that jump, but they did it, and then they invested themselves in it. And what they brought with them was you and I would respond to. I remember I went to came out as a shooting, multiple shooters, fucking people down everywhere. It's at the casino, and just chaos. And dispatchers putting this out, and I'm doing 120 down the freeway trying to get there, and I'm like, it's fucking on right now, right? I'm thinking it's a full on.
Yeah, active shooter.
Who fucking knows, right? And to me, it's like, all right, man, I'm in a good headspace. I'm like, whatever, just keep giving me the info I need as I'm getting there. And then I'm trying to coordinate my fellows getting there. And it ends up being one guy shoots 2, blah, 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 whatever. And then you handle it and you're like, all right, man, whatever. And then you handle, you move on to then, crime scene and all that stuff. What I'm trying to say is now you have that level of experience. And now you go to a job where, hey, the TPS reports weren't attached to the top of this and everyone's freaking out. And you're like, dude,
I got it.
This is nothing, man. This is no big deal. So now you remain calm in these situations that other people get. You also, so as an ATL, you would, or even a team leader, you would coordinate with all these other outside agencies and entities on SWAT, or even when I did it. So I worked DOT for 6 years, 2 as a detective and 4 as a sergeant.
Okay.
And so when we're working some of these bigger cases with I don't want to name them, but some of the like task forces.
Yep.
Dude, you're coordinating with federal agencies, you're coordinating with local agencies, you're coordinating with fire and medics and other investigations. You're contacting prosecutors to make sure that you have all this experience making all these contacts and working these complex situations. You're telling me that there's not some business out there that needs a dude like you to step in and do that?
Yeah.
You cops, I'm saying this to you cops listening, you guys have a lot of skill set that you don't realize that is very easily transferable to the private sector.
100%.
You just have to get out of the mindset of, well, I don't have that badge and that gun anymore, or those handcuffs to solve a problem. Dude, drop it. Your thing, I'll bet money, you tell me, when you were at the port and you were training and you had your school, you were not putting 100% into the school, so you didn't reinvest.
That's right.
I'm asking. I don't know. I'm
No,
assuming.
for sure. Yeah. I always say, like, well, I was a cop. This was more of a hobby club, But I did find myself sometimes motherfucking jujitsu because it's like, dude, I'm pouring so much money into this club.
Yeah.
And it's just it's always in the red, and it's just becoming a money pit. And it's kind of a passion project, but at what point does it not make sense?
Right.
And so, yeah, this place, I tell people all the time, this place wasn't in the green for like 7 years.
Right.
And then it went fucking 2020 hit and we grew by 600%.
Right.
You know? And so it's like, but that's also the path. That's how it goes, you know?
Yep. So anyway.
God, I wanted to, you know how it is when you're podcasting. It's like you're talking and I was like, dude, I have something very important to say about that specific topic. But, just to wrap up what you were saying about how cops have so much bigger of a skill set than they give themselves credit for. I always tell people, look at Jocko. Look what Jocko has done. And sure, Jocko has charisma and Jocko's a great public speaker.
Right.
But if you read Extreme Ownership, it's on its foundation, it's relatively simple military SOPs that you can apply to the corporate world.
Yep.
And he nailed it. He hit it out of the park because he unpacked that in a way that's very consumable for people. And it's like, shoot, move, and communicate.
Right.
Like every private in the military knows what that means.
Yep.
But he's been able to break that down into how that can apply in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just take a step back and look at your overall skill sets of what you've done for 15 years as a police officer, I promise you it can correlate to other professions.
So you go and you work investigations. You're like, oh, I have some investigative experience. As a patrol officer, depends on kind of what city you're in, I guess. But as a patrol officer, man, you're wearing a ton of different hats.
All the hats.
All of them. And you're doing pretty much everything. And then you give it over to investigations, right? And then if you get the chance to go and work investigations, and then you go back to the patrol area, you're like, I'm 10 times the cop I ever was because of that experience. Just that little training and those years of experience and the hundreds or thousands of cases you worked, dude, you step into that corporate world. How many corporations right now need corporate investigators, that need, L&I investigators, that need medical, that need like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then some of it too, like, you jump from the LE world and you have some skill sets from the specialty assignments that you had, or, I have a pretty good medical background. I just need to polish it off with, like an EMT cert or something. Now I go work at Medic One, or I was just talking to somebody the other last couple of weeks, traveling nurse. They're making enough money in 6 months to live for a year.
Yeah.
And they're traveling now. And granted, not everybody could do it because you got stuff. But what I'm trying to say is like,
there's options.
There's options out there, man. And every cop I know is scared to jump, but every cop that has jumped has not regretted it.
That's right.
One bit, not one.
And then there's also a lot of culture outside of like military and law enforcement. And I hear this because now I have a snapshot of all different kinds of lives from having such a large student base. A lot of corporations, or even like just local mom and pop places, they're starved for people that have discipline and just do what they say they're going to do,
right,
and be here when you say you're going to be here.
Yeah.
And like to us in the professional law enforcement, it's like, hey, I'm calling in on shift at 5 a.m. Period. No matter what, that's going to happen.
Right.
Outside of something catastrophic. And if it does, like if you get in a car wreck or whatever on the way to work, the first thing you're doing is getting a hold of your commander and be like, hey, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like we communicate very well and we meet expectations very well. And to us, that's just, I always say like in 2nd Ranger Battalion, it's their 6 a.m. formation. There was no such thing as being late.
Right.
Hey, so-and-so's late to formation. I didn't hear that once in 4 years of standing in morning formation with 2nd Battalion.
Yep.
So if you set that standard, people adhere to that standard. And the civilian world, a lot of places don't understand that standard. So when they see a guy that says what he's going to do, he's going to be where he says he's going to be, bro, you're like a VIP out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. And how much too are you seeing? You're seeing a job that needs to get done and you fucking just do it. Mm-hmm. How many times you gone to a call and you're like, man, I'm not only the first responder to this, I'm the enforcer when I have to put handcuffs on. Now I have to turn around and provide, compassion to the wife because, she just got beat up by her husband or some shit. Then
she's mad at you for arresting him still.
Well, maybe, yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's happened a couple times. Now you're the medic that's, bandaging an arm because he cut her or some shit. Now she's bleeding. Then you surround you're the investigator. Then you're the coordinator between her and like, dude, there's so many hats that you wear just on that one call.
Yeah.
Just all I'm saying, man, is just get out of the mindset of like, I can only be a cop. That's all I'm good at, because that's not true. And now you stay in this job that is continually degrading your mental health, that's affecting your family, that's affecting your life. And you have most of the guys that I talk to now that are in that retirement phase, it took them a good 6+ months to decompress to a point where they were like, oh my gosh, that's a really bad environment. And then if you do jump from, I mean, you went right into entrepreneurship, but you jump from like where I'm at now, I'm like, man, my boss is pretty fucking legit.
Yeah.
This guy means family first, because he is demonstrating family first. And then I'm going to take a week off at the PD. So I contract and I travel the country and I teach firearms and combatives and stuff. And at the department, take a week off and I'm just getting fucking shit talked, and it's hard to get time off. And I'm like, if I go teach at Waslefia, right, the firearm instructor conference, why are you talking shit about me as a range master for your agency? I'm now being asked to go, can you come train all the firearm instructors around the state and provide instruction to them so they could take it back to these cops around the state? You're talking shit about me? Meanwhile, my current boss is like, fucking go. Like, I don't know how you're going to build up the time. I can't give it to you, but go try to make some comp time. I want you to go and do all that stuff and flourish in your side business. My only ask is, because you're doing that and the skill set you have, come back and train my dudes.
Yeah.
That's it. If you can do that, and we're good.
And then another thing, did you listen to the episode with Jeremy Newsom, our wealth coach, by chance?
No, I don't
So
know.
he just has very comprehensive trading strategies, right? And he runs courses on how to teach people how to trade. People hear that and they're like, the stock market, I might win, but I might lose, right? I'm gambling.
Yeah.
You're gambling if you don't understand how to do that.
Yeah.
And so he's really helped my family with things. And a listener of the show, who's now a friend of mine, his name's Jordan. He's a patrol sergeant down in California. And he flew up here to meet Jeremy when Jeremy came up for the podcast. Yeah. He enrolled in his program. He's still a patrol sergeant, and he's making 7% return a month on his investments.
Damn.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
And he's still a full-time cop.
Right.
So I'm just saying, there's options.
There's a ton out there, man. There's a ton. So.
Well, we've been at an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh shit.
We're just shooting the shit, which I like this. This is how podcasts are supposed to flow. Nothing is worse than sitting here when people are like, yep. And it's like, fuck, dude, I got to carry the show now. But I don't want to run out of time and not allow you to tell the story that I think you should tell, that you deserve to tell.
Yeah.
And so let's dive into that. And then if we have more time to just shoot the shit afterwards, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, it's I mean, I want to try to stick to facts as much as possible. It's, we'll just kind of jump right in. So, and I had a pretty good career. I did 22 years before I left, and in mid 21, so 2020 or right around all that George Floyd bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That all happens, and then the COVID stuff happens, and it's just law enforcement's chaos, man.
Tough time to be a cop.
So, lot of agencies were looking at civilian oversight committees and this kind of stuff, and I was like, Chief, we don't need to do this. My opinion, we should create a use of force committee. That use of force committee is comprised of people that are firearm instructors, DT instructors, maybe a commander that sits over that stuff, and then send those guys off to like force science and get certified there and some other stuff. And then what we should be doing, because the way the force worked was you would write a force report and it would just go up the chain of command and nobody that was an instructor would see it. And as an instructor, it's like we should be putting eyes on every force report and then starting to pull data from that. So what exactly is happening to our officers when they're engaged in hand-to-hand conflict out there on the street? Because I guarantee you this, fucking arm bars and Z-holds is not the goddamn answer.
Of course.
And we're sending our guys up to the mat room and this is all we're doing is this. And then the other, and I know you're a big jiu-jitsu guy, so I'm just a blue belt, but
just a blue belt's a big deal, dude.
Yeah. But I'm way into the jiu-jitsu also. We would send our guys off to the Gracie school, and then now we're doing it on video where guys are just, shooting a video, sending it off to the Gracies. You get this certification, and now, hey, let's just go upstairs and lay on your back, and then we're going to get somebody on top of you, and we're going to try to teach you some shrimp move. And I'm like, what are we doing, man? We should be gearing our training towards exactly, or more often than not, what is happening to our officers out on the street. Mm-hmm. And then start to drive our training there. And then the second component to this is when we start to see officers continually use a technique or a move or a tactic maybe that is a little bit misguided, now we start to kind of bring them inside those left and right limits that we want. And then if we start to see types of uses of force that are outside of what we want, it might get signed off by the chief. Like, yeah, this is technically correct, I guess, but we don't really want that. Start to bring those guys inside those lines, because what I don't want is we already have a dude being charged with murder. And I'm not saying that what he did was wrong. I fully support him. What I'm saying though is let's try to tighten up our use of force and start to really train our guys for what's really happening on the street. Because right now we get away with, most people aren't really trying to kill you. They're trying to get away from you. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So we create this use of force committee, and we start having, now we're reading, 30, 40 force reports a month. We're a busy department, and it's causing some work for some other people, and it is what it is. We have a newer officer, a young guy. He's a dude that, I thought was a cool cat. Like, he would show up. So my office, I had an office like this with a mat over there. And then I just put it out. Hey, if anybody wants to come up and get a roll before you start work, or you want to come up at lunch and you want to scrap with me, like, let's just do it. Cause I'm sitting here in, nicer clothes to type on my computer, like I'm fucking dying, man. And, so in 1 month period, he responds to a call, and it's a older transient. The guy's like 60. And he steals a pop can or beer can from the 7-Eleven, walks away. The officer finds him, and the officer's maybe a 2-year cop at this point, and young, fit dude, martial artist, and sees him. The guy starts running, so he gets out and he chases him. Well, the guy runs in the middle of the street. He stops, like, okay, you got me. And the officer's about 3 steps behind and just double legs him and pile drives him, boom, right into the ground, knocks him out. And I was like, whoa, shit. Like, man, over a pop can or a beer can, like, I guess good intent, right? But the outcome, you know what it's like, man. You see dudes hit the head on the back of the ground, like that's a bad outcome. So I see this force report come through, and I thought, I'm not comfortable with that. And then a couple weeks later, during COVID, towards the end, where we knew, like, I think some people knew right away, like, this is kind of bullshit. But this is the point where we're all almost on the page of like, okay, this is dumb. So African-American kid goes into the Goodwill, and he refuses to wear a mask. And so Goodwill calls, and they want him trespassed. And this officer shows up.
Sounds like this kid's on my team.
Right? So this officer shows up, and the kid walks away, 17 or something like that. And the officer sees him, and now it turns into a foot chase. All for the fact that we're going to trespass this dude. And I'm like,
hey, don't come back here, but we're going to chase you down and attack you.
So I could give you
to
some
tell you not to come back
so
here.
I could give you a piece of paper, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he chases this kid. He ends up in the front yard of some house and uses force on him. Turns out, luckily, oh, thank God, now he's got warrants. Well, you know as well as I do that, you can't use information that you find out after the fact as justification.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And so I'm like, man, I am not comfortable with this. And it's funny because some of these, there's been some articles written by like Antifa-like people, these communists that, Tyler Christian, he promotes killology, which don't even know what that fucking is. It's a Dave Grossman thing. Uh-huh. And he's, he trained this officer that just got charged with murder, and he's a fucking extremist because of his tattoos. And so, writing bullshit articles about me and all this stuff.
Well, it does say 1776 on your arm, so you have to be an extremist, right?
Have to be.
Proud
right?
of your nation's independence.
Right. It's, so the other one is We the People, which is funny.
Terrible thing to say.
You're complaining to me about me to the academy. Meanwhile, the academy has We the People right there on the front wall, right there as you walk in, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You get on their website, We the People right there. And they're just like, what the fuck? So, so in my level of extremism, I go to this use of force committee and I say, hey, I know that these 2 uses of force were signed off by the entire chain. However, somebody should talk to this kid. I think he's a good kid, man. He's going to have a great career. I like him. He's a nice guy.
And so let me just to clarify something.
Yeah,
like, you going over these reports again, you're not looking to hem dudes up. You're looking to help them.
100%.
So they don't get hemmed up in the future.
Man, I've seen it and you have too. I've seen it. oh, so-and-so just got in trouble for XYZ. And what's most people say? Oh, we all saw it coming.
Yeah.
Fucking stop. Let's start from the beginning when these guys are just coming in, and I've made some mistakes in my career. I really hope that the mistakes that I've learned from, I can then turn around and try to help guide the younger officer to not do the same shit that I did.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, bro, and we've all been there. Like
100%.
I can tell you a couple use of force incidents where my emotions of that like fuck you energy made me take it too far. Mm-hmm. Like I can be honest with you and be like, you know, I hurt this person more than I probably needed to because I was like, you know how when you're in a fight, it's like, fuck you, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, let's go can be good in some aspects of your life, but it can get you in a fucking world of hurt too.
I think you should be capable of fuck you, let's go, but you got to be able to control it. Right. And so with this guy, I walk in and it's a commander and 2 sergeants and me. So 3 sergeants and a commander. 1 sergeant, I know he fucking hated me, so he's not even listening. And the commander over the DT program, he's so busy on his Candy Crush, like he's not even paying attention. So it's me and another sergeant. And I thought that this kid worked for that sergeant, right? And I said, hey, I'm not even in patrol at the time. I'm up in training. And I'm like, somebody should just have a conversation with him. Like, he's not in trouble. I don't think that he should get jammed up. I don't want him thinking that knocking out this guy is okay. And dude, it's George Floyd just happened. And now you're chasing an African-American kid and you're fighting him. And who knows, thank God it was just like a little hand-to-hand thing. Now you go to like a old school level 2 where you're striking or even bigger uses of force. All over what? Because he didn't wear a mask on the goddamn Goodwill? What are we doing, man? Like, fucking stop. So me and that sergeant have a good conversation, a good debate. And that guy says, you know, hey, I'm not gonna chat with him because I don't want to demotivate my guys out of doing good police work. And I said, I understand that, but what I don't want to do is motivate them right into handcuffs like we already have, right? We're dealing with this other issue. Let's be super cautious. And so we all agree to disagree, but I thought, you know what? I have a good relationship. I've been here for 20 plus years. Supervision, tons of instructor stuff. I talked to this kid, like he's coming to my office. We've rolled. Okay, I'll just chat with him. So I see him one day and I'm like, hey man, come to my office real quick. I just want to talk to you first. And I said, hey, this is Tyler to so-and-so. This is not sergeant to officer. Nobody knows I'm talking to you. You're not in trouble. I say this throughout the entire like hour-long conversation. And he's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. I said, this incident, man, just be super careful. Like, I understand your intent and chasing the bad guys, but it's just...
Well, as the training sergeant, isn't that literally your job?
Well, you would think so. So training sergeant on our end meant a lot of like, if you wanted to go to outside extracurricular training, then I would... you would put it through the chain of command. I would coordinate it.
Okay, so it was more of like an administrative position than as far as that department is concerned. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I held active shooter, DT, firearms, patrol response, or that thing is, tons of certifications, and I train all over the place. So like, I have the authority both positionally and
just from experience.
Like, dude, calm down, man. So and this kid's like, all right, cool, thanks, I really appreciate it. And I told him, I said, babe, this would have been I came in at 9/11. You're coming in at George Floyd. These are 2 different worlds, bud.
Yeah, everybody loved us in 9/11.
Dude, we were fucking golden, right? So, a couple days later, his sergeant calls me, and it's my day off, or I just got off work. He's like, hey, did you just talk to so-and-so? And I said, yeah. The sergeant that I thought it was ended up being a different sergeant, okay? So that guy calls me, and he's a brand new, maybe been a sergeant for 4 or 6 months. Maybe, in my mind, my memory. But young sergeant, did you talk to so-and-so? I said, yeah. Did you say, and I said, yeah, man. I go, I don't think that these uses of force were super legitimate or the outcome was super awesome. I just wanted to be more careful and put some thought into his next uses of force, because when you got to use force, man, fucking use force. But there's other times where you don't need to. And I guarantee you and I did it. I would sometimes push something because that's just what law enforcement was 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, so he gets done. He's kind of, chewing my ass a little bit. And I'm like, I go, dude, I didn't know you worked for you. My bad. I go, I wouldn't change what I did. I go, but next time, now I know I'm going to look on the schedule and I'm going to make sure that somebody works for you or doesn't work for you before I talk to them. And I'll come to you first. Because he even tells me, he goes, I know that there's issues and I'm working on it. Okay, well then what the fuck are you yelling at me for, dude? So anyway, that happens. And so now I'm like, all right, I don't trust this guy now. So he just ran off and he tattled to his sergeant. He, that same commander that was in that office on Candy Crush, he calls me in and he's like, oh, you're undermining the use of force committee and you're stepping over your bounds and you're not allowed to say. And I go, one, I'm the one that created the use of force committee. Like I know, I wrote the fucking policy for it. I know what we're designed to do. This is exactly what we should be doing, is trying to help guide these younger guys. And so I thought, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go hands off. They already know I'm not going to deal with it. So I didn't even talk to the dude for a year. I would see him in the hallway and I go, hey, what's up, Greg? Hey. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I would never talk to you or him about jiu-jitsu. I would never talk to him towards about a year goes by. And then I'd be like, oh, you got a new pistol. What's up with that? Like, whatever, stupid shit. So we then test for commander and I come out number 1. 4 people passed the test or 4 people took it. I come out number 1. I score like a 94. Nobody scores a 94, dude. And I'm not super smart, but the number 4 guy comes in. He's like, dude, you fucking aced it. You kicked all of our asses. We all were like low 80s or whatever. And, you know, congrats and blah, blah, blah. So at the same time, I get 3 people come to me and go, hey, congrats on number 1 for commander, but stand by. You're about to get fucked with. Something's going to happen because the command staff doesn't want to promote you. And probably because I never, I would call balls and strikes, right? And if you're, if you're a commander, like you just hold a position. I'm not going to walk in and motherfuck you to your face, but I'm going to speak my mind and give you my side of things. And at the end of the day, if you're the boss, then you're the boss, man. We'll do what you want.
Well, and bosses that don't want people that are going to shoot them straight,
right?
They're actually doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah.
Like you want guys that are going to push back.
Because you're not always right.
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude,
it comes down to, again, it comes down to leadership 101.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're a commander or if it's jujitsu. If one of my brown belt assistant instructors pulls me aside and is like, hey man, the way in which you did this could be misconstrued. Maybe, you know, there's moms watching or whatever the case may be. Hey, accept that constructive criticism.
Right.
Doesn't matter if they're your subordinate or not.
And he's telling you that because he wants your school to be good.
Exactly
he wants
right.
you to maintain that instructor role, and he wants you to maintain what you don't want is now that mom goes and tells 14 other moms, now you just lost 100,
exactly right.
100 students.
Yep.
Right. So, so that year goes by, and so now that test comes out. People say, you know, hey, you're going to get fucked with. And I'm like, hey, don't talk like that. Don't even put that stuff in the universe because that shit happens. Right. So,
but they put it out there.
Oh, they fucking put it out there, man. So I walk in one day and the assistant chief's there and he's super early and it's not abnormal, but it's weird. Right. So he sticks his head in. He's like, hey, come to my office before briefing. All right, man, cool. Well, I walk in and he sits down and he's straight shooter. He just goes, hey, you're on admin leave. And I'm like, what the fuck? What for? I can't tell you. Why can you not tell me? We'll just call it harassment. Who the fuck did I harass? I don't know. Our attorneys are looking at it. So I get escorted out of the department. So,
bro, that's my favorite. You're escorted out. I've been here for 20 years. They said the same thing to me after I got fired. You can't come back in here and empty your wall locker.
Right.
Well, you think I'm going to hurt somebody?
Commander so-and-so is going to walk you around and, and I'm like,
yeah, dude, fuck you guys, man.
Whatever, man. So I am completely fucking flabbergasted, dude. I have no idea what's happening. So roughly 2 months goes by, and I still don't nothing. They finally, per policy, on the 15th day, the IA commander comes to my house and gives me the letter, and the letter doesn't even say who. It just says that you instigated inappropriate, unwanted touching of a male subordinate in the locker room. And I'm like, who is this? I can't tell you. Well, what the fuck did I do? I can't tell you. I'm still at a fucking loss. So I walk into my internal interview. They put it out to a outside investigator. And this gal comes in, and I meet with her with my attorney. And we start going through this process. And she's like, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah. Did you poke him in the butt? And she kind of, so for the listener, I'm holding my finger out like I'm poking Greg in the chest. Did you poke him in the butt between his cheeks? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? What? No, absolutely not. So what happens is he goes to command, and he claims that nobody is in the aisle. There's other people in the locker room, and that he's changing out at 3 p.m. and I'm walking to get to my locker. I have to go past him. So I'm off at 3:30. I'm never in the locker room at 3 o'clock anyways, but it's in his mind, it's now 3 p.m. And I walk in, and to get by him, this dude that I already don't trust, I already know that command staff doesn't want to promote me. And I've already been told, hey man, they don't want to promote you, so something's going to happen, right? So I'm obviously like on my best behavior, right? And his claim is as I walk up behind him, I sneak up behind him. And so you've now heard me for an hour and a half and my grunting, like it's not unnoticeable. And if I'm trying to control it right now, just because I know I'm on your podcast, I don't want to bug the listener. But
bug him, bro.
But I guarantee the whole drive up and the whole drive home is going to be me doing that stuff. So he claims that I sneak up behind him, and to get to my locker, I walk up and I shove my finger up his butthole, but I don't penetrate him. I just and to get to my locker, and then he turns around, and his claim is that he turns around and he's like, "What the fuck?" And my response is, "Sorry, there's no other way to get past you." And I'm like, "The fuck?" That response doesn't even sound like, what the fuck is this? So I said no.
Well, here's the other thing too. And the reason why I would have no sympathy for this story, it's like, if a dude jammed his finger in my asshole,
we're throwing hands.
We got a fucking problem.
Yep, we're throwing hands. I don't care if you're the
That's
chief.
what I'm saying. Like, dude, I don't take all this policy and positions and rank. It's like, if you're saying I did what I did,
yep,
and then you didn't decide to fucking confront me right there on the fucking spot, yep, and you went and ran and told this tale to another, I would be embarrassed to say that story.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of a fuck?
Yeah.
Hey, this guy tried to finger my butt, but instead of doing anything about it, I'm coming to you, Chief.
Right.
Fuck you, dude.
Yeah. So I deny it. I'm so flabbergasted. I don't even give this backstory because while I'm talking to her, I'm still like, what the fuck is going on? She went 2 more questions, and I had to like stop her and go, wait a minute. Is this what you just said? Like, I poked him in his butthole? Yeah, that's what he says. Ooh, no, what the fuck? So we get done with that, and I come back, and it's inconclusive. And I get it. Like, okay, fine. Nobody's there to verify this story. Like,
he said, she said bullshit.
Fine, fuck it, whatever. So I come back in, and now it's the chief and the assistant chief, and I go, can we bring this guy in, and can we, like, I'm gonna have to work with these guys. He works on this crew ahead of me, or the midshift crew. And to back up for 1 second, so I'm now back in patrol. The patrol commander meets with me before going back into patrol, and he's like, hey, be careful of Sergeant so-and-so and his crew. We have an issue with them. That crew is, they're just a little bit weird. Like, they're just very elitist, very, weird.
Cliquey.
We're the only cool kids and everybody else is not. And I go, I've already experienced some of this. Trust me, I'm not talking to anybody on this crew. I'm not even talking to that sergeant because it's not worth it. And so then all this stuff, and then I do that. Bullshit. So I tell the chief and assistant chief, I go, can we bring him in? And they're like, nope, because if you do that, that's going to be retaliation. And I'm like, how do I go back to the road? And how do we square this away? I go, HR can stand in here if you want. He can bring his wife in. He can hold her hand, and we'll have this. Like, I'm the only one that wants to air this out. Nobody else. So whatever.
And people wonder why people are looking to leave the profession.
Yeah, 100%. So anyway, so I come back and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to take the high road, act like it didn't happen, or not that it didn't happen, but like
just give it no attention.
I'm just fucking back, and we're right back into normal. So I get pulled off of some of my instructor assignments, and the assistant chief's like, well, this is not retaliation, but we're just going to remove you from your instructor roles as a DT instructor in firearms for 6 months to try to let this die down. And I'm like, well, I mean, it sounds like retaliation. There was no fucking finding, but now you're going to pull me. And so now what the message you're sending to everybody is Tyler did this.
Yeah.
But we couldn't jam him up for it. So this is right. So
this is their form of punishment.
Yeah, whatever. So that's August, come back September, late September, something of 22. Well, then in December, now I'm in California and I'm teaching for a contract company, and call the chief, or the chief calls me and he's like, "Hey, I need you to come in the station. I want to talk to you about this promotion." And I said, "Hey, I'm in California right now. I'm teaching. I won't be back until after Christmas. I know you're going to pass me over. I disagree with it, but we can talk about it when I get back." "Well, I really want to do it face to face." And I go, "I understand that. I appreciate it. Let me get back. Do what you got to do. You make your own decision to let the department move forward, and then we'll deal with this." So I come back, have Christmas on a Sunday. Monday's my day off. I go back on a Tuesday. Monday morning, I get a message from the assistant chief. Meet me in my office this morning. Overtime's authorized. You have no choice. So I'm like, what the fuck now? Because you know exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
So I call him. I go, "What's up? I need to talk to you." "About what?" "Come down to the office." I go, "Just fucking say it now." And he's like, "You're on admin leave." And I go, "Jesus Christ, dude. What the fuck for?" Same thing. What the fuck? So I go down.
You're a serial butt poker.
Well, yeah. So I go down there and I meet with him and I go, "Now what?" Same thing, right? I'm not going to say. So that last 2 months, nobody fucking calls me checking on me. No, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just off in the open or, put away from the department. And everybody else is told, "Hey, don't contact Tyler." So this time you're on admin leave. We're going to do better this time. And we're going to, we'll check in on you weekly. And that was kind of fucked up. And we apologize. And so this next one, so now you've seen the video. So
Yep.
what happens is it's my Monday. I'm a patrol sergeant, of course. I'm in patrol. And this happened 7 months prior to that December post-Christmas date. So that she sat on this for 7 months. So
She hadn't been coached yet.
all right.
I'll say it. You don't have to say it. I'll say it.
Okay. Yeah. So
And here's the other thing, dude. If something happened 7 months ago and now you just suddenly develop the courage to bring it up, fuck you too.
right.
So
Shooting comes out. One guy down, witness there. It's my Monday, so my uniform just got washed over the weekend, and I wear a jumpsuit. And as I pull into the scene, I know suspects outstanding. We're trying to find them out on the freeway, checking cameras, doing all that stuff. And I roll into the parking lot, and I get out, and I'm walking up to a male and a female officer providing aid to this victim. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go hands-on with this dude because it's not my first gunshot victim. It's not the first time I've tried to provide aid. And I knew I had more medical training than she did. I assumed I probably had more than the male officer there. So as I'm walking up, I realized, fuck, I don't have any gloves on me. And so you've seen the video. And
Yep.
I said, I go, "Hey, do either of you, I'm not asking her, do either of you have some gloves on you real quick?" So she stands up and she's closer to me, which is why. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I got some right here." And then she unzips her back pocket and sticks her hip out towards me. She looks at her hands and she realizes she has blood, which is why everything she's doing. She doesn't say grab them, but she's in the middle of this guy living or dying. I assume I'll just grab this fucking gloves real quick.
you pulled them out of the pouch for her.
I pull him out of the pouch, and you saw this also.
Yeah.
I pulled him out, and this is how we're trained even to touch any female on the street when we do a pat down the back of our hand. So with my left hand, I use the back of my hand, my two fingers, my pointer and my middle finger go into her butt pocket, pinch the gloves with those, pull them out, put the gloves on. And right about that time, I look down on him, and I've seen enough people die or dying that I'm like, okay, this guy's got a little bit more time. And I look to my left, and now fire is just now walking up. And so I immediately went from rescue mode to sergeant mode, right? And I went, okay, fire's here. There's nothing I can do for this guy right now that fire couldn't do in 10 seconds. Now I need to back off and take control of the scene. So I do my thing.
Well, and just to paint a picture, because you showed me the body cam footage before we started, all of this happens in a span of what, 10 seconds maybe? 5 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
You walking up, the gloves. Meanwhile, the guy's on the ground. You can see he's bleeding out. Like, it's a hectic scene. Regardless if you've been around people dying or not.
Yeah.
When you're in that scene, it's go time.
Yep.
And I mean, I laughed when I saw it because it's like, dude, I don't know if I said this on the air or I think it was just when we were kicking it. It's like, listen, if you wanted to touch a girl's butt, right? The time to do it probably wouldn't. I don't care how much of a serial ass grabber you are. There's a dude right in front of you bleeding out, and people are trying to give him medical attention.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing transpired. It was clear as day. Nothing transpired.
Nope. So she.
So this is what really happened then. Once they started going on the headhunt for you, they didn't have to just be like, hey, even though you're the best scoring candidate, we're going to bypass you because we don't like you as much. That's not an acceptable thing to say.
Yeah.
So they start building these things. Yeah. And bro, that should be fucking criminal.
You would think so, right? And at one point, so what's funny is she gives a couple different statements to one is to like an investigator, and then it goes criminal. They tried to have me arrested for assault 4 with sexual motivation. Right? So
is this video public?
Yeah. I mean, it's I got it on PDR. The public disclosure request.
Okay, but is it out there anywhere?
I put it up on my Facebook page a couple years back.
Okay, I'm just saying if people are interested in seeing it, if you want to see it, because I mean, it's pretty clear to me. And again, I don't know you. I don't know your fucking demons. I don't know if you like to secretly poke people in their buttholes or not. But based on that footage, clear as day, nothing transpired.
100%.
Like I would feel comfortable fucking hanging my hat on that.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah. So I'm flabbergasted too. So
now there's
now this is
now there's a pattern.
Now this
of
is
you grabbing asses. Dude.
Yeah, it's 7 months later. So this comes out. Going back to the criminal. So I'm now being read my rights like a fucking criminal because I get interviewed by an outside agency detective department. And
did you just invoke Miranda and say, I'll wait for my fucking lawyer?
Well, I had an attorney with me.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, again, I'm the only one going, what the fuck? Let's talk about this. Let's expose this.
Yeah.
You know what? You Antifa dudes that want to write these slanderous fucking articles about cops that you've done no fucking investigation on. You just want to throw stuff out there in the public and you want to demean my reputation and try to take money out of my pocket so I can't go out and, work other jobs and do some shit. You guys left out the part in the male one. The investigator on that one in her write up says that there was inconsistencies in his story because he gives two different one statement to like detectives and then one to her.
Yeah.
And then on this one, so the female, so I get the audio recording and then I get the transcript of hers, and she talks about like. He grabbed my ass for several seconds and I was so, embarrassed and he, trying to get his jellies off and all this shit. And then the detectives, and you're not a dumb dude, at no point do they say, can you show me where he grabbed your ass for several seconds? Can you, because I'm watching the video and this is our video expert right here and we're trying to find it. Instead it was, well, how'd that make you feel? Did you cry about it? Did your feelings get hurt? That kind of stuff, right? All emotion-based, zero fucking fact. 3/4 of the way through that interview with detectives, she says, why am I here? And they're like, well, we're here to investigate this. She's like, well, I already talked to another investigator. Am I being investigated for filing a false police report? Because what I reported and what the video showed, they don't line up. So I don't want to be a Brady officer. Am I here for this? And they say, no, we're only here to see if Tyler committed a crime, not the veracity of your statements, basically. And I'm watching this going, what the fuck? How the fuck does this pass? One, as a investigation. Two, when the city you should have looked at all this stuff, and you're telling me. So what makes it even better is our assistant chief is a smart dude. He worked investigations. He's been a cop forever. How many times you go out to an assault call and you go, that's not an assault, right? He gets the video immediately after hearing her tell this tall tale of me grabbing her ass. Plays this according to his statement. Plays the video for her and is like, "Is this the video you're talking about?" She says, "Yes." He then says, "Do you want this to go criminal?" So it wasn't her intent to walk in and go, "Oh, I want Tyler charged with a crime." It was the assistant chief going, "Do you want this to be criminal?" And then we're going to go down that road. And so now I end up in this criminal investigation it took them 9 months to investigate this. They finally write it all up. They send it off to another prosecutor, and I'm getting this behind the scenes. The prosecutor that they shipped it off to take a look at calls others and goes, "Why the fuck is this on my desk? Like, what am I even looking at? What a waste of time." And yeah, we have to ship it out to you, and we have to have you say yay or nay. So that prosecutor's like, no. They write it up professional like they normally would and say,
we're declining this case.
This is nothing we can do.
Yeah.
So, and then,
I mean, King County prosecution writes that against pretty much all cases, even when there is criminal evidence, you know?
Right. Yeah, dude, we can go down that rabbit hole, but I know we won't. Anyway, so I get cleared from that. And so this just kind of starts this whole snowball of, and I don't care about the promotion. Like, you know what? You don't want to fucking promote me, then stand up and go, hey, you're not going to toe the line, which is the truth. We want these guys.
Yeah, you're not a yes man.
They're my homies. The assistant chief came to me and said that, it was a mark on me being promoted because of the previous commander that I worked for. And I go, well, whose fucking fault is that? I don't choose my boss. You guys put that guy in charge of me. And I'll tell you what, that guy was a great fucking boss. That guy took care of me. That guy helped me and guided me. That guy allowed me to walk into his office and vent, knowing that that's what I needed for the time being. So I didn't go vent to other fucking people. And then he would, all right, you done? All right, now let's go down this path. Like, he was a smart dude.
But what was their reasoning for, did they reference the 2 investigations for you not getting promoted?
Check this out, man. No. So I was talking to the chief, and I said something about that's kind of bullshit, that these investigations are unfounded. One, I didn't do the first one, whatever. I can't say. Like, again, he said. The second one, clearly I didn't do this, and I got told by the chief that no matter what, I was getting passed over. And I go, oh, how come? Well, I think the previous chief talked to you about this, and I wrote an email about 3 years prior to command staff. And in it, I said, and then when the fellas get to the range or something like that, right? I used the word the fellas, and it was a public document. And the chief wrote me back and said, and he admonished me, hey, don't use the word the fellas in an email because it's not gender inclusive. And if it got PDR'd, then it looks bad and blah, blah, blah. And I went,
That's what they reference.
All right, man.
The fellas.
So then
what a fucking terrible person you are.
I know, I'm horrible.
And let me guess, all the guys that were training that day were guys.
No, this was an email. So just me sending an email to our command staff about something. Okay. And I just was probably referencing like, hey, when the fellas, I just referenced the department as the fellas.
Okay.
Right? So then, and that's like, this is years ago before this passed over promotion thing. And so
they have a file somewhere of every single thing that they hope they could gig you on.
Well, I wish I saw that file because I never fucking saw it.
Well, of course not.
Because here's what happens is,
I'm just saying, when they find an email from 3 years ago,
right,
over a non-gender inclusive term, that lets you know there's a witch hunt going on.
Well, and I go, okay, the other 2 that you promoted are also instructors. You know how many times I've heard them say, hey guys, look over here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, listen up. Hey guys, check this corner. Hey guys, what's the difference? So I got told it was the fellas, right? And I went home and I'm thinking about it and I'm like, there's no way he said that. I'm lying to myself. There is no way that happened. All right. So I see the chief again. Hey, chief, I want to talk about this. When I talked to you before and you said I was going to get passed over no matter what, you told me it was this, and I don't believe that's what you said. Can you explain yourself? No, that's what I said. Oh, what the fuck? And he goes, well, there was more to it than that. And I go, oh, okay. Like what? I don't remember. Oh, you don't remember? You remember it was the fellas, super egregious, but you don't remember all the other stuff? Well, I thought we talked about it. No, we didn't talk about it. Remember? You called me in California. I said I'd come talk to you, and instead your assistant chief put me on the admin leave, so I never got to talk to you about it. Whatever else, if you were going to pass somebody over, you should have a pretty good understanding of, oh, it was this. And later, when I turned in my letter, it was, well, I also have to make decisions that is congruent with what is basically going on in City Hall. So what's going on in City Hall is there's people that don't know me. So my mom is my mom's very, I wouldn't say well connected, but she runs the food bank, and she's not really into politics per se, but has to deal with the city all the time because of what she does. So my family, my entire family's whole, not goal, but like our passion in life is service. to this community, and then this is what happens. So, so the chief says, hey, there was other people in City Hall didn't really want you promoted, basically. Well, you back that up. So he's on a Zoom call one day with a bunch of people, and my name comes up in this Zoom meeting with a bunch of other city people. And then somebody pipes up and goes, well, he's a racist. And then the chief tells me this years ago, and I go, did you fucking say something? No. Oh, why didn't you defend me? You just let this person say I'm a racist? What, because of my tattoos? And you don't defend me? I have issue with that. I think that's a little bit egregious, right? If I have personal knowledge on somebody, and then now somebody else in a public venue is demeaning and violating my like my code of ethics and stuff, and that I'm not that, why not go, hey, whoa, wait a minute, no, he works for me. I've known him. I've worked with him for 25 years. You're wrong, right? Nothing. So anyway, so that's basically what happens my last year of my career. Are you good? We're going to go probably.
Yeah, we can go over. I don't know if a fucking airplane is dive bombing the studio or if it's the landscapers.
It's something.
So I apologize for that, but hey, I always say we do life here at the Endless Endeavor, and sometimes your landscapers show up while you are recording a podcast.
Right.
But whatever.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we can go over it. It's fine, dude.
Cool. Thanks, man. So now I've been on admin leave for 11 of 12 months, right? And there's another investigation. I'll blaze through this one super quick. So female leaves. She in her exit interview, she throws like 17 people under the bus and goes back 20 years ago claiming that she was sexually assaulted on duty and shit by somebody else. What she says about me is I didn't allow her, so I was a sergeant of some forward-facing divisions like bike, CRT, that stuff. And she said that I didn't allow her to be a OIC while I was gone because she's a female. So kicks off another fucking investigation. So now I'm under my third internal. I had
22 years with nothing.
I had one thing back in 2013 or 2014. We had another female that a lot of officers were having issues with. Long story short, I'm a patrol sergeant. Do you know Amiri King, the comedian guy?
Sam sounds familiar.
Amiri King. Anyway, so back in like 2013, I'm running briefing one time on a weekend. It was dead, and it's like an hour and a half past when we would be done. We're just hanging out, shooting the shit. And we get talking about something, and in that, I go, "Oh, have you guys seen this Amiri King? He's a convicted felon turned comedian, super pro law enforcement." And he's like, "Hey, every time that I got tased and got hit by a cop, like I fucking deserved it. I was out there causing havoc and chaos on the community. And then my punishment per se was having to deal with then law enforcement, and I'm fighting with them, they're fighting with me, and it just is what it is." So he's got these kind of comedic videos, and they're vulgar, right? And I go, "Oh, have you heard this guy?" And we were talking about something. I go, "Have you heard this guy? It's pretty funny." And I play this video, right? And in the video, he's just like a Chris Rock or somebody, or South Park.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting made fun of. The good guys, the bad guys, the in-betweener dudes, right? And it's a 3-minute video. So I play this video. So 18 months later, she thinks she's going to get fired, this female back then. And she goes out and she makes like 30 allegations against me and other people about how she's been abused this whole time and blah, blah, blah. So 18 months later now.
She got subjected to a 3-minute video that offended her.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, you're supposed to be emotionally capable of going through a door to apprehend violent felons, dealing with like the worst of the worst. But you can't emotionally handle a 3-minute video of a comedian saying some off-color shit.
Right.
And guess what? The profession lives in off-color.
It's
you know what I mean? Like
the place.
you want to be able to actually be able to connect to your community at all. Part of it is being able to be that chameleon. And guess what? It's okay to enjoy something that's a little off color, right? So I'm sure that's like, well, you can't do that on duty, and you were a supervisor and all the same shit, right? But at the end of the day, it goes back to the same fucking thing I said about the last one. Listen, if you watched a video that it just made you feel distraught, walk into the commander's office and be like, Sergeant fucking so-and-so just played this and I really don't feel comfortable, right? The fact that 18 months later, when she's on the chopping block herself, suddenly has these feelings of being targeted and being feeling offended. Now those are coming to fruition. Where is the fucking leadership that just says, hey, take your bullshit allegations and go pound sand? That's what needs to be happening. But bro, we talked about at the beginning, that is the foundational problem of the profession, is that at any time, any person, for any reason, can be targeted, and before you know it, you got emails from 3 years ago with the word fella in it. You got a girl that you grabbed gloves from her a year later that felt offended. And it's like, it just paints a picture to let people know these professions, these agencies, they're not going to operate inside of what guys like us operate inside of, holding like just a moral and ethical code with each other. And the system is so far gone. And it's not just law enforcement. It's our culture as a whole. And law enforcement is bending a knee to this woke culture. And now you got a bunch of shit like this. And people wonder why you fucking got out.
And you're, not to be arrogant, but like, man, I was a good cop. Like
Bro, there's no arrogance in saying you're good at what you do.
I was in Warrior Path, I was with another law enforcement, 10 of us, 3 cops, rest military. And one of the military guys has, methamphetamine addiction and some other stuff. And at one point during one of the campfire meetings at the end of the day, he says, man, if I got arrested again, I want it to be by you, because I know that you would fucking show me some compassion. You like he saw that within that week, not just some fucking Rambo out there, shooting and fighting and all that stuff that I enjoy doing. And here's the thing too, on that article I referenced before that talks about me being some sort of a fucking extremist. Here's my extremism, right? And I have years of social media posts that I've not taken down, so you can go fucking read them if you want. I know you won't, but
all your Proud Boy stuff and your 3%er.
Here's my extremism. If you work in a job where you have to put hands on people, you better be fucking good at it. You should know how to. It's more important to keep blood in the good guys than it is to let blood out of the bad guys. You should be so competent and capable with your hands and with a firearm that you're now no longer afraid and now acting out of fear in some situations. So I reference in my mind, I think back to you had a story, you were working with the port and that one guy that wanted to fight, you're like, fucking dude, you can see by my ears that I like to fight too. And we can either fucking fight or we cannot. And what that dude's response,
it. Yep.
100%. And so had that been somebody else though, and now they're afraid and they're nervous and they don't know what to do, what are they going to do?
Yeah, pull their taser out. Go fucking ground.
They're going to go to a tool, and now we're dealing with this. And I guarantee, if it went to a hand-to-hand scenario, and with your hand-to-hand skill set, you're going to be a lot. You're more dangerous to other people, but you're a lot safer because your skill set knows when to use force and when not to, when to apply pressure.
And you can control the situation even in chaos.
100%, right? Versus you get the person that I've never stepped foot in a dojo before. I've never gone against a purple belt 3 times my fucking size that wanted to, because now I'm the new blue belt. So you're gonna, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're now in that position where everyone's gonna show you. You've never experienced that adversity. And so now you're doing it out here on the street, and we always fall back on the badge and the gun. Yep. This is my power. And if I don't know how to do it intermediately, then I turn to this. And then the longer that we allow these use of force incidents to occur, now I'm out of shape. Now I'm breathless. Now I'm like, oh shit, now I'm scared. The person is scared. The person's also in chaos. You have 2 untrained people in chaos, and now I get my gun out and I shoot you. That's not what I want. I want good, strong, capable people. When my kids call 911, I want fucking Greg to be there. I want the most capable, solid dude that is confident in chaos, and not the person that's never been there. That's my level of extremism. Yeah. And then this is what really a lot of the people within the department, in my youthful vigor, I put a lot into you as an instructor. I am not impressed by your piece of paper from the CJTC that says instructor so-and-so from, DT. I give two fucks because I've sat there and I've listened to what is said there. I've been on the back end of that stuff. And I hold my Gracie Survival Tactics instructor certification. Have you ever been inside of a BJJ gym?
Yeah.
No. Do you know? Can you tie a belt? No. What are we doing?
Yeah.
And then now you're going out and you're training our officers to engage in real life violence and chaos, and we spend our time doing arm bars and Z holds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I would go at our other instructors, and I probably should have done it different. I remember I was at Waslefia, and I would always, when I'm teaching other instructors, I would say, hey man, tell me your name, where you come from, how long have you been on the job, how long have you been an instructor, and then how much training time do you actually get? And dude, across the board, the answer is usually none or very limited. So as an instructor, you have this piece of paper that says that you can now teach this very intricate, high level, or sometimes complicated technique or scenario, right?
Yep.
And that's all you rely on, right? Is that. And I don't think that's good enough. I expect more out of our instructors because what we're sending our guys out to do is so fucking important that I would always say, troopers might disagree, but you can fuck up a DUI, man. Hey, I don't cross a T, I don't dot an I. All right, nobody lives or dies. I got that dude off the road, and he doesn't get his license suspended. Whatever. You know what I can't come back from? That dude on the ground getting shot, in the 2 in the chest and 1 in the leg, and then we fuck up his medical care. He's not coming back from that.
Yeah.
I go out and I get scared and I pull a firearm, and then now I use a firearm or a tool in a manner that I shouldn't, right? Ineffective force often is perceived as excessive force. And now I've created more problems for myself versus had I, as an instructor, done my damnedest to make sure that you are most capable for the events that we're going to send you out to. That's my level of extremism.
Yeah.
Right. And so I wish that I would have been more probably nicer, I guess, in the way that I approached other instructors. I'm going to skip forward because I know that we're going to run out of time here. So I'm on that admin leave, and I bought my house because it's dark. It's down a dead end road. Nobody fucking comes down it. If you're coming down my road, I'm getting a phone call within a couple minutes saying that there's a new, somebody in the neighborhood kind of thing. That's kind of where I live. And I don't care necessarily about the non-promotion. What I care about is my integrity and me being attacked and me being lied about, and I can't defend myself.
Yeah.
Like nobody will fucking listen to me, right? When I came back from the glove incident, I'm like, hey chief, you should probably tell the department that I didn't do anything. Well, I can't do that. And, I'm trying to remember if even an email, I think an email came out that said, Sergeant Christian returns on Monday. How about, if I'm the victim here, how about show everybody the or if I'm the suspect, show everybody the video. Show them what a bad guy I am. Can't do that. Half the sergeants wouldn't even watch the video after it was made public. Mm-hmm. Hey man, how come you won't watch it? It's not my issue. It's, between you and they investigated it. And I'm like, you have an officer here that clearly lied, and your whole job as a cop is to go out and investigate crime and to look at evidence. So here you have, and you claim some ethical morality in black and white, and we're going to hold people accountable, but you don't want to watch this video, but instead you want to talk shit about me about what a bad guy I am. Like, again, I don't care about the promotion. What I care about is what you're doing to my
Your reputation.
My reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guarantee a lot of guys that are, because of your podcast, that a lot of people know me. Right? Mm-hmm. And they'll see my name and they'll go, oh shit, I know him. And they'll listen. And I've talked to some that are like, oh yeah, I heard about that. I didn't know it was you. And then I show them the video and I show them other stuff and they're like, what the fuck? That leaf blower is like right there.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off for.
Yeah, I'll let him.
Chris.
Thanks,
yeah, I'd be like, take that leaf blower and do something else with it.
So,
go poke someone in the butthole with it.
Make sure though you get that trigger in there and get some. So I'm on admin leave, man, and I allow myself to go to go dark. So when my brother died, I never connected with it. I just put on that cop uniform and I handled my family and I handled my relatives and the death and all that very compartmentally. I would use alcohol to finally feel something like, man, I need to cry. I can't cry because I don't know how.
Yeah,
So,
you're not in touch with those emotions.
no, man. And so I would drink to cry, and it was never to deal with it. It was like just to get it out.
Yeah.
So now I'm going through this, and you add to that, like, yeah, the divorce is hard, and not seeing my kids, not being this guy that I thought I would be. In my mind, all I ever wanted to do was spend 30 years on the fucking SWAT team, and we have a good team, dude. That's all I wanted to do, and just be an instructor and live out that kind of life. And everything that I had it, man. It was in my hands, and like Tommy Boy, where he's got that piece of bread, right, and he crumbles it, like that's what I was doing. So now I start using.
So I mean, yeah, it's all the dots are connecting now. Is because like obviously that was your identity, that was your mission, that's who you were, and that's what you were good at.
Yep.
And then through a series of really politically based events, they started to tear you down, and it's something that obviously you're struggling with.
Yeah. So then I started using alcohol to not feel.
Yeah.
And so when this is going on, like now I'm at home, and it's, you go through the winter time, and now I have no like mission. I'm not training because the school I train at now wasn't even up and running yet. The school I was training at, I blew my L4, L5. And so I'm fucking dying, dude. Like I wouldn't be able to roll. And if I did roll, now I'm out for another couple of weeks. Like
And bro, I mean, a good friend of mine went through, I don't know if I should say similar, but he was a law enforcement officer. He got himself into an incident. He got put on admin leave, started like same thing, spiraling, drinking all the time. Then he hurt himself, and now he couldn't even go to jiu-jitsu. And bro, it ended up with him fucking eating his AR. Yeah. And it was because, bro, you're in a dark place, and if you have specific outlets in place, and for a lot of us, our outlet is jiu-jitsu, and then that's taken too. That spiral is hard to stop, man.
It's rough, dude. The drinking got real bad, and I had three incidents. One where I woke up and my gun was unloaded on the foot of the bed, blacked out, and I'm like, so I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And then I remember, like, I'm sitting there crying, and I know how much pressure to put on that trigger. Like, I'm practicing. Can I do this with an unloaded gun? All I gotta do is load it, and I've already gone through the motion of doing it, so now it's easier, right? I had another incident where I was in my girlfriend's bed, and she's in the other room, and I'm fucking wasted. And same thing, gun to my head, right on that wall, Glock, and I'm like, I've seen enough suicide. I know what that looks like, man. I can't do that to her.
Yeah.
Right. And then one other incident at home, same thing. And and it's like, when you're not drinking and you're sober, you don't think about that shit. Like that suicide doesn't cross your mind. But now I got to a point where I was like, I'm self-isolating. I'm self-medicating. I am taking on things that are outside of my control and trying to control them when I can't. About 6 months ago, so now I'm in a good headspace, and I'll talk about it in a second, but 6 months ago, I'm teaching a class, and I'm a big trigger prep guy, present towards the target, find your sight, break the shot, and tell the class, say, hey, go back and load up, range is still hot, and I'm just getting some reps out because I'm kind of prepping for the next drill I'm going to run with the students. And I drive out towards the target, and I just prep the trigger. Hot range, so no big deal, no safety issues there. But in my head, I went, what the fuck? Dude, you were that fucking close to breaking that trigger those 3 times, and you would not be here right now. Fuck, right?
It just hits you hard.
And it hits me. And now I still got to teach the rest of this day, but I want to go, like, take a break and go, breathing exercises or cry or some shit. Because I was like, when you're in the midst of chaos, you you just don't know. And I didn't know how to get out. So we've all seen Top Gun, and when Goose dies, and they're in that flat span, and Maverick's just like, eject. And Goose is like, I'm trying. And he can't. Dude, that was me. And I guarantee the cops that are listening right now, that is some of you right now. You're in this flat fucking spin and you can't eject, right? And I know it because I still talk to dudes that are hurting right now. And as I talk to them in parking lots, I'm good. And then they start to tell me how they're not good. And then they come back to, no, man, I'm good. Right. And I see it in their fucking eyes and I hear it in their voice. And I got to a point where I was like, one of my buddies was like, oh, just go to counseling and then claim PTSD, right? Try to, you now build up your own case so that you can turn around and sue the city and the department and you can retire because other guys have done that. And I was like, I don't know, man, we'll see. So about a couple years before that, a buddy of mine, cop, says, hey, I got this counselor guy. He's a good dude. He's also a cop. So I reach out to him. I go, hey, what's that dude's number, man? Get a hold of that counselor. And I send him a message and I go, hey, I need to talk to somebody. And very first meeting, he's like, what's going on? That's it. What's up, man? I cried for an hour. Just, I don't even know if I talked much. Just fucking bawled my eyes out for an hour. So I start meeting with him every week for a little bit. And he gets to a point where he's like, man, you need more help than what I can give you. I'll still be here, but you got to go somewhere. You either fly down to Texas and you're gone for 30 days or you go to Warrior Path and it's 90 days, but 7 days in-house. And so I start looking into it and I'm like, I'm going to take the easy path, right? I'm going to go to Warrior Path because it's only 7 days. I can still see my kids. I'm still on admin leave. So like, fuck it, it doesn't matter, right? And I get online and you fill out like this application basically. And in that application, they ask you a bunch of questions about, suicide and darkness and joy. And have you felt that? And, are you numb? Blah, blah, blah. And so it's a Tuesday and I'm drinking. And I get a phone call within like 20 minutes. And I don't answer, like, I still don't even have your name in my phone. Like if you called me and I didn't recognize, I wouldn't have answered.
I'm the same way, dude.
Yeah. So I answer the phone call and I'm like, hello? He's like, hey, what's up, man? This is Will. You just filled out an application online. And I go, yeah, I did. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just looking into it. And he's like, well, let me tell you about me. So he tells me a story, and his story, dude, is fucking my story.
Yeah, of course it is.
And
bro.
I'm like, oh shit. And so he's like, what about you? And I go, and this is like 7:30 at night. Like this guy's probably at home with his wife and kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I said basically the same thing. And he's like, all right, you're probably a good candidate to go into Path. I have to look at some dates and I'll check with you tomorrow and I'll give you some dates. So this is October of 2022. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm a big reader too, right? So before you got here, like I'm videotaping all your books because I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna read some of them, right? And so I said, well, what books could I read? I need something because I'm struggling. He's like, read this book. Okay, so I buy the books and I start reading them. And a couple weeks go by and things are just kind of just getting worse. Like still, drinking a lot. And so I'm drinking again one night, and I wouldn't say I'm suicidal per se, but I'm like, don't trust myself. So it's getting worse. And I sent him another message, and I said, hey, it's like a Thursday night now. I'm drinking. And I go, dude, I read the books. So he tells me you can get into March. I don't know if I said that. You can get into March. So that's 5 months out. And so I wrote him back, and I go, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it till March, man. I need something. And same thing. Dude calls me like fucking in 10 minutes. He's like, what's up, man? And I go, I don't know if I'm going to make it till March, man. I need some fucking help. And he's like, okay, if you can leave in like 8 or 9 days, I'll get you into this group. And I go, I'm in. And so now, here's the scary part is now guys like us said, hey, I need help. And then people said, okay, I'm going to help you. Well, fuck, now there's some responsibility there, right?
Yeah, now you have to accept it.
And now I have to show up. And so I'm talking to my counselor and there was a message put out by one of the Path guides and says, hey, here's everybody's phone numbers. You guys now are part of this text message group. Send a photo of yourself or your family and your name and a little bit of background, and then we'll all meet here in a couple days. And so everybody sends their messages in, and I don't do it. And the counselor guy's like, why didn't you do it? I go, I don't know, like anxiety, fear. And he's like, when's the last tactical training course you went to? XYZ. What'd you do right before that? Shit, man, I was dry firing and working out, fucking prepping my shit. So that when I showed up, I didn't waste your time as an instructor, and I wanted to represent my team well. He's like, why are you not doing that now? Man, I don't know. Scared, right? And he goes, you would not tackle your physical profession this way. You have an opportunity right now to be fully in. Don't squander this. Don't waste this. And I was like, you're right. So I send my message in. So I have a week to go, and I was like, I'm drinking every fucking night because I'm going to be sober. I'm going to be sober when I get there, right? So drinking every night, and then we get to Path, and I'll try to wrap it up here in a little bit. But dude, Path was such a pivotal moment in my life where I didn't show up and talk to counselors that were book trained, like I talked about.
You showed up and talked to guys like us.
Guys like us. And then the guys in my group, and we all felt this way. We all felt like, if you're listening, I felt like I don't deserve to be here. Somebody else needs to be in my seat.
Yeah.
Every dude that showed up had that same fucking thought, right? And so now I'm like, oh, okay, everybody felt that way? My cabin mate says, that you go around the room and like, why are you here? And everybody's just down and depressed, and it's a heavy emotional environment. And he's got his hands in his pocket, and he's looking at the ground, and he's like, if this doesn't work, I'm killing myself. I'm fucking done. I've done enough counseling. I've done enough this and that, and I'm going to give this one shot, and we'll see what happens. And to this day, I still talk to that dude, and he's doing great. And so you start going through Path, and you start just dumping all this stuff. And one of the things that we picked up a lot was like, you and I were never trained for that emotional, how do I deal with any of this life stuff, right?
Yeah, of course not.
And so now you're being able to, you're sitting with a bunch of like-minded dudes, and you're hearing stories that they're fucking drama, man. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of pain in that room, and everybody's fucking dumping it. And then you're learning how to kind of rebuild it, right? And then we were taught transcendental meditation, and that's been huge for me. And so I know you spend a lot of time doing similar type stuff. I don't know if you actually do TM, but TM has been just absolutely great for me. And so I started in prayer, and that prayer is, they call it the Jesus prayer. It's just, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, have mercy on me. I'm a sinner.
Just repeat that for...
I'll say it once or twice, because what I don't want it to be for me is a mantra. I don't want to just say it to say it. I want to mean it. Like those people that harmed me at the agency, I want to show them forgiveness, just like I need forgiveness from things I've done. Right? Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not here to motherfuck those guys. It just happened. And this is what I now get to deal with. Right.
Well, and the truth of it is they forced you into a new phase of life.
Thank you.
That when I was going to say, if you're not feeling the thank you yet, let's talk in 2 years. And you're like, man, it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm still dealing with it, right? It's been 3 years, and I'm still facing consequences of what had transpired then. But no man stands in the same river twice, because he's not the same man. It's not the same river. Yeah. And so some of the stuff that's happening currently right now, it's like, it's interesting because when some stuff just popped off about a month ago, reference all of this, I got mad initially, like, what the fuck, right? Of course, yeah. But then I was able to go, hey, dude, all right. And then process that and deal with that way different than I would have done 2 years ago. So no turning to the bottle, no, running and motherfucking everybody and this and that, just going, you know what, this is outside of my control. And about 2 weeks ago, so I know that you're a big reader, but one of the things I got into was stoicism. But then in the Bible, dude, there's a ton. One thing I enjoy about the Bible is every character in there is extremely flawed, right? So the Bible doesn't try to mitigate the sins of these godly men. It says, dude, King David, the guy that kills Goliath and the guy that sleeps with Bathsheba,
had a bunch of wives.
Yeah, the greatest king of all of Israel, whatever, right? And it goes through and it like exposes, here's all of his bad shit. And we never talk about it really, right? We just kind of talk about the good stuff. But if you dig into that, or even some of the Stoic stuff, like, Marcus Aurelius in book 5 of Meditations, right? He's sitting there talking like, is this what I was designed to do? Laying here in my comfy bed because I'm too afraid to go out and face my fucking kingdom.
Yeah.
Right. And you're going, dude, this guy's a warrior. This guy is out there slaying, the enemy and doing this. And he's 2,000 years ago, he's sitting there going, I just want to lay in my comfy old bed here and fucking eat grapes and do what I do. I don't want to go out and face the day and face my people and face this trial and tribulation. But you know what? It's not up to me. The ants, they're not sleeping in their little, fucking ant farms. And no, those guys are getting up and they're working because they know that they have to contribute to society and their life and the community and all that stuff. And so, now going through struggle is it's almost viewed as blessing, right? Like, one, I'm alive to struggle through it. And two, what am I supposed to learn from this? One of the things that I think I pick up a lot in reading ancient stuff, and not even just the ancient Stoics, but in the martial art community, right? So obviously the big ones are like, the Book of Five Rings and the Art of War. You're listening to these guys that were warriors, thousands of years ago, and they're processing and going through and battling the same shit that you and I are today. So you and I are not different. We're not isolated. It's not something that somebody else has never been able to overcome. Right. And so you look at that stuff.
And once you look at it through that lens, it's pretty easy to not land on poor me.
Right.
Because it's like, poor me is an easy place to convince yourself that you're at. But once you realize it's like, man, every man throughout history has gone through an odyssey that's had these ups and downs.
Well, and think about
and
this
now
too.
You're in your odyssey.
Absolutely. And in that comes growth. It comes hopefully compassion for other people. Marcus Aurelius says, soon you will forget all things and all things will forget you.
Yeah.
And so when I end my meditation, it sounds kind of weird, but when I end my meditation, I'll be zoomed in my mind, kind of. I'm zoomed into where I'm at. So I'm going to meditate in this podcast space right now. So I come out of it, right? I hit that bell that I just dinged to start the podcast.
Yeah.
I ding, it gets...
See, you're into the woo-woo too.
Fuck yeah, I am. If I don't get crystals by the time I leave here, we got some issues. But I'll start, the bell will go off and I'm like, all right, I'm coming out of it. And I'll start, I'm in Greg's office. I'm in the Jiu-Jitsu Academy. I'm on the property. I'm in, fucking Lake Stevens. Yep. I'm in, whatever county, Snow County. I'm in the Northwest region. I'm in Washington. And I just zoom out like this camera lens from all the way where I'm at, all the way to, dude, fucking the cosmos. And then I'll end it with, I am so small and I'm so insignificant that these problems that I think control me, they only control me because I allow them to control me. My kids, the people that know me, right? I'm not some serial sexual assaulter. I'm not any of this other stuff. You can say what you want, but people that know me, right? They know that's not right. Me being a cop, the identity that I had around SWAT team and working dope and all this stuff, my kids don't give two shits what I do. They care that I'm a present fucking dad. They care that I care about them, that I teach them and I train them, I guide them, and I'm there for them. My kid yesterday doesn't care about anything I'm going through. He just wanted to jump off the dock 27 times into the water with me, and that's all that mattered. And so why do I spend so much time focused on these things that I can't control? And then I allow them to spin me up into these dark places that then do what? Nothing is healthy about that. Nothing is kosher about that.
Well, which one of the Stoics was it that said like the majority of your suffering happens in your mind?
Seneca, I think.
Yeah, and
he
it's
talks
like,
about it.
Yeah, you suffer more in your mind than in reality. Yeah. And that's, we're all guilty of that because that is fact. I mean, I came across that. I've seen that quote for years, but I came across it again recently and I was like, not only do you suffer more in your mind than in reality, it's almost exclusively in your mind.
Yeah.
Sure, you get hit by a fucking car on your motorcycle or something. There's people that are suffering, right? But all the stuff that we're talking about, it's really how we've allowed ourselves to perceive the situation.
Right.
And once you can figure out, and bro, like the reason I love this podcast is because I call it the endless endeavor because I'm not the guy that has it all figured out because I don't think that guy exists either. No. I think I'm a guy that's putting some pieces together and starting to see what works for me and what doesn't work. And bro, there's still times I find myself in I talked about on the podcast a week or two ago, I just woke up feeling really depressed the other day.
Yep.
And it's like, what is this? Why do I feel this? But once you've been through this cycle, you learn some tools, you learn how to process some of these things. You realize this is part of the journey you're on. And once you arrive there, suddenly it's not like, poor me, I want to kill myself. It's, why do I feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
What took place?
Yep.
What can I do to get myself out of this?
Yep.
And it's and it's funny too, because we're all in our 40s, and this is something that I think a lot of men in our circle are starting to learn about themselves. Why aren't we teaching this shit to 5-year-olds in school? You know what I mean? You referenced it like, hey, maybe I go do a breathing exercise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's a superpower.
Oh yeah, it is.
A superpower that none of us have learned until we're grown men.
Right.
And so the reason I love podcasts like this is it's because it's not the woe's me. It's, hey, I went through some shit, but this is how I'm navigating through it.
Right.
And on the other side, you're going to be better for it. And the thing is, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say, poor me, my life sucks, everybody hates me, that's a guarantee that you get to live in that space.
Yep.
Because you're putting yourself there.
Yep.
Or if you say, and I love, you've already said it several times, like, man, I want to find grace and forgiveness for the people that did me dirty. And bro, I'm in that space too. I think everybody's in that space. And you can wake up, and it still gets me. Some people that have done me wrong in the recent years, it's like, those motherfuckers, man. And then I feel like Jekyll and Hyde in my head sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? But the truth is, we have to be able to navigate these situations and see the silver linings. And guess what? The silver linings are fucking good, man.
Yeah, they're great. One of the things that we talk about a lot in Path is just every morning starting it off with gratitude, right? Trying to find something. And I'll tell you right now, like I'm not a gratitude person. I am, when you're writing an ops plan, here's the mission, here's the things that could go bad, and here's the contingencies. And you're always planning for worst case scenario. You're not planning for, what happens if the bad guy comes out and goes, oh, hey, my bad, I shouldn't have murdered that guy. I'm walking around in the handcuffs. You're planning for, shit, he just took hostages. It's an apartment complex. Now I got to do an evacuation. This happened, right? And in our emotional side, it's always something bad's going to happen. It's always something bad. And the nice thing about Path, man, and the nice thing about having community is if you can be open and honest with your homies and you share how you feel, that cabin mate I talked about. When I listen to him talk, he is a fucking direct reflection of what I say in my head. What I say in my head, I don't hear the way that he says it out loud. But now I have basically a mirror. It's another dude.
Yep.
I hear him talk and I go, that's how I sound.
Yeah.
But when I hear him say, I'm giving him grace and mercy, and I'm showing him, you're right, man. You made a few errors here that's causing some riff in your family right now, and you guys are gonna have to get through that. But look at this. I don't have a wife. You do. I don't see my kids right now. You do. I don't have a family to raise. You do. Look at all, and it's not a comparison, but it's just like, look at all the good things you have right now.
Yeah.
And so when I hear him talk, I need to sit down and have a chat with myself. Like, dude, you still allow that negative to overtake you. And Chris and I were talking about on the way up here. It's like, I sometimes feel like a fraud, just like you said you do. And you're not. You're probably a cool dude, right? Again, I've never met you. I just listened to you, and I
think I'm pretty cool,
right? I have family that trains at your school.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, cool guy. But I guarantee, and you're honest about sometimes you go home and exactly what you said, man, I fucking failed today. But that failure it's not like an AA failure, right? One thing I disagree about with AA is like you get a 6-month coin and then you go have a drink and now I rip that coin from you and now you start over at zero. Yeah. When the reality is, dude, you just got 6 months sobriety and now you had a drink. Like,
you got a bump in the road.
Dude,
Let's get back on the path.
Yeah,
dude.
You know what? Fucking get up.
Yeah.
Obviously Chris is my there's like 3 dudes that are 2 a.m. phone calls, right?
Yeah.
And him being here right now is a 2 a.m. phone call, man. I love you. But you need dudes to set you straight sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to kind of open up and be that, because if you don't have that community to connect with, you then allow what happened to your homie and he eats his AR. I just about ate my pistol. You've just about eaten yours. Yep. And it's like, fuck, man, like community is such a big deal.
And that's why, like, I say this often. I always emphasize it when this topic comes up. My community, I'm lucky enough to have a community of people here on the mats that can be those people for me. You found that through this group, but whatever avenue you find this group of people, it is imperative if you want to heal. And one thing that you said that I really want to emphasize on, and it's that same book, The Dark Side of Light Chasers, really delves into this. It's like when you listen to other people, not only are you allowing them to express some of their hurt, some of their concerns, some of their traumas, but everything that you hear that you feel an emotional response to, and it can be a good emotion or a bad emotion, but if you hear somebody's story and you feel an emotional response, that's because they're being a mirror. And something about their story hits you inside.
Right.
And what that does, if you're conscious of that and you're open to that, that allows you to start to explore yourself more too. Yeah. And that is one of the biggest keys of healing. It's like, sure, your homie came to you with some dark stuff and you're being that 2 a.m. friend and you're listening. But as he goes through that process, once you're in tune with how this works, he's being a mirror for you too. And it allows you to visit parts of yourself that maybe you hide from, maybe that you don't want to visit. And that's where community, because you can't see yourself without a mirror, period. So if you think you're going to lock yourself in your basement and you're going to just drink a fifth of Jack Daniels, there is no growth in that because you're unable to see the parts of you that you need to see. And that's where community is magic. And it can be community. And I'm seeing it with the plant medicine ceremonies that me and Chris attend. And there's a part of me that's wondering, does this have anything to do with the plants that we're consuming? Or does it have to do with exactly what I just said? Sitting down with people, opening up, allowing them to express their vulnerabilities while simultaneously they're being a mirror for you.
Right.
And then you switch roles and then you talk about some of the stuff that you're struggling with and everything is reciprocated. And people have to seek that. That's not just going to show up on your doorstep and be like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, you want me to be your mirror today? Like, that's not how it works. And the only way for the mirror to work is for people to have a little bit of buy-in from you, a little bit of trust from you. And now we can all just go, let's drop all the shit.
Yep.
And let's figure out what's going on between our ears.
Yep.
And I'm telling you guys, it's where the magic happens.
Yep.
And you've heard guest after guest after guest talk about this same topic because it absolutely plagues soldiers and first responders. This is the ticket out of it. And if you want to do it through jiu-jitsu, if you want to do it through a support group like you found, if you want to do it through ceremony, then find whatever path works for you. But if you're not looking for the path, you're ensuring that you stay stuck. Yeah. And that just is what it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's we were talking about on the way up here, man. I think there's a lot of guys that are stuck or not willing to. We're talking about a certain friend, and I don't know if that certain friend is willing yet to, I think he's on the precipice, willing yet to kind of look within and start going, oh shit, right?
Well, and it's the same thing I said about plant medicine. It's not your job to be like, get your ass out here and attend ceremony with us, right? Yeah. And it's the same if people are self-isolating and they're not willing to sit around a bonfire with you. They're not willing to come to jiu-jitsu practice. It's the same thing. I can't convince you need to do this because if you're here because I want you to be here, then you're here for the wrong reasons.
100%.
Well, fuck, man. We've gone pretty far over. We got to wrap this up, but I want to give you the final word. And then also if people, inevitably, there's cops that'll hear this. Are you active on social media or how are you open with people writing you and being like,
yeah, man.
If you want to leave an email or social media, I'll put it in the show notes.
Okay.
And then people can connect with you.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want to deal with fucking anybody, then say, no, man, I'm still dealing with my own shit. I'm not ready for that.
No, I'm good with it. It's just, you know, sometimes the people that mean evil, my concern is like, you know, they're going to take that and kind of keep running with it. Now I have to face more social media bullshit. I've, on the social media, like I'm still on it a little bit. But I'm starting to go, hey man, I think I want to take 5 months and just fucking ghost and spend that time just being intentional with myself. I'll still post here and there a little bit. But yeah, if you want to, then I'll give Greg my stuff and then we'll see if
you want to make up an email. Fucking, I did the Unlistened Ever podcast at gmail.com or whatever, bro.
But, you know what? That's actually a better idea. I'll do that.
So just text me that email and that allows people to reach out to you through that avenue.
Yeah. To end it, man, I just want to say one, thank you for just listening, man. Thanks you for giving me an opportunity to try to, there's still a lot more there, but just the big stuff was, hopefully I think I was able to put out some of the other side of the story or some of the truth. And again, at the end of the day, I'm not here to motherfuck the agency.
You didn't even say who, you didn't even name them.
No.
So that in itself lets me know, like, you're not here out of fucking retribution,
No. My big prayer was this. I know that there's a lot of people right now in our circles that are hurting, that are wanting out, that don't know how to get out, that are afraid to make that jump. And my goal was one, just a little bit of like, hey, here's who I am. If you want to think that I'm some extremist, then nothing I can do about that. But hopefully some encouragement to those officers, male and female, that are like, the one that I'm thinking about right now is we're in a parking lot and he's telling me a story and he kept going down this dark road, but I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm getting through every day. And then now it's this, and I'm like, dude, I know you're lying to me, man, because you're lying to yourself. And so that's it. Just whatever your path is for you, it's not always jujitsu for everybody. It's not always plant medicine. It's not always, biblical teachings. It's not always stoicism. But, you guys listening on the other end, like, yourself better than I do. And like, hey, I got to get out. And if that's you that got to get out, there's paths out there. There's avenues out there. And again, I have not met or talked to one cop who's left the profession and said they regret it.
Yeah.
Not one time. And I can say that with 100% confidence.
I say the same thing, man. So
yeah, I appreciate it, man. And we never talked about jiu-jitsu, but I'm sure we'll talk about it after this.
All right, man. Thanks for coming up.
Later.